Welcome to the vlog. First, kind of live action, recent, no more honeymoon. It's not super dated footage. There's a little bit of dated footage, but it's from this week. We have a lot to cover in this. I don't know how much we'll actually get to, but happy Halloween weekend. Sorry, I just had to run up and down the stairs like 18 times in a row. Also, I'm not fully showered. I did shave, and I'm having a little bit of an eczema outbreak. I know you wanted to know all these things. But hey, if you want to skip any of this stuff or jump around or jump back and forth, I do time code all these videos because they're so freaking long. So, of course, you'll see on the red status bar or timeline bar, there's gaps. Those are chapter stops. Or you can open the description. You'll see a big old list of blue numbers, and that'll tell you what everything is. You can click on those numbers and jump to or from whatever you're looking for. That said, I am filming this on October 26, 2022 at 3:28 p.m., this intro. We are going to see a little bit maybe before we get to the cooking, or I might put it later. Might be some things out of order here. But it's been a lot. We want to catch you up on the month, everything since we got back. We want to catch you up on some of the Disney stuff too, but I don't know that we have time in this vlog. We have unboxings we want to do. We're definitely cooking. We're definitely making a cocktail, maybe a couple, and they'll definitely be Halloween themed, although I found I'm missing a crucial ingredient, so we'll see how that goes. But even the food is kind of themed based on Halloween slightly. You'll see when we get to that. But I just wanted to shoot this intro so we can get to it. We got a lot of movies to talk about as well. We've seen a lot of stuff. Not going to do full reviews for like every single thing. We'll do some of the big ones. You know, like maybe I'll tell you what I thought about Halloween Ends, Terrifier 2, Pearl, things like that. Mary saw something with me too. So we'll get some of that. And then we may just do a big run of, oh, saw this, it was cool, saw that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I guess you want to hear Black Adam. That's probably what I was thinking with Mary. So hopefully you'll remember to do all that, and then we'll do some other fun stuff. But right now, I need to start cooking because even though what we're making today is fairly simple, I'm gonna complicate it by making a lot of stuff from scratch. So let's cook. All right, so happy Halloween. Obviously, if you saw the last vlog, I guess, you saw the end of our honeymoon trip was spent at Universal Studios and predominantly at our first time ever doing Halloween Horror Nights. Obviously, we had a really good time. I got something tickling my nose right as I started filming too, so I don't know what that is. We had a great time. There were some very cool foods out there, and some of it, I don't know if we just got bad versions or what, because some stuff was really good, some stuff was very disappointing. So today we're going to make a version of something that's apparently legendary out there, and I saw so many videos about it, and excuse me, I still need to take a shower. I've only shaved, but this is going to take a while. I need to get it going. We're going to do pizza fries. Let's just jump right to it. I think it's Louis' Italian Restaurant. Pizza fries, very famous out there. It's very simple. It's a crinkle cut fry with a bunch of pizza sauce and cheese and toppings on it. So, I mean, it should be great. But I think they batch make them, and I think we went towards the end of the night and we got one of the last ones they had, and it was kind of cold and congealed, and it wasn't very good, but you could tell the idea was pretty solid. And they also had like Reuben fries and stuff, which we didn't get a chance to go back for, but I thought today we'll keep it fairly simple as I'm getting back into the cooking groove, because I haven't really cooked anything in like a month. Not like cooked where I gotta prep veggies and all that stuff. So we're gonna make pizza fries, but of course you could just go buy ingredients in the store. Like I bought frozen fries, all right? So I am gonna deal with frozen fries when we get to that. I bought pre-sliced pepperoni, you know what I'm saying? But I am gonna make my own pizza sauce. I am going to make my own pizza sausage, and then we're gonna go from there. And we're gonna kind of make what they made. So I'm not going to zhuzh it up too much, but you could. I am going to go a little bit. So right now we're going to start by making our pizza sauce. And if you've been around the channel long enough, you've watched everything, you know my favorite pizza sauce comes out of the Ninja Turtles cookbook. This is a New York style pizza sauce. That's what I want to go for. I am going to start experimenting with adding some of my own ingredients today to start seeing if I can go from this as a base and start creating my own version that I like even more of this pizza sauce, so I can say it's my pizza sauce. I guess that's kind of how this works. So that's what we're going to start with. So let's get down here and I'll kind of show you what we're working with. And bear with me being a little out of practice on some of this. But basically I'm going to run you through what the book says, which is 1 ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes, tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, tablespoon of unsalted butter, 1/4 cup finely diced yellow onion, 1 large garlic clove minced or pressed, 1 tablespoon of finely chopped fresh oregano, or 1 teaspoon of dried, we're going dried, 1 teaspoon of sugar, helps the medicine go down, half a teaspoon of fine sea salt, and some freshly ground black pepper. So of course, we have the actual San Marzano, not San Marzano style, but San Marzano whole peeled tomatoes. We've got our extra virgin olive oil here, our basically fine sea salt, basic granulated sugar. We're trying a different black pepper than usual. Mary picked that up at Costco. I have some dried oregano. We'll be working from that. We might add a little extra. And then I'm going to add in a pinch of red pepper. Not a lot. I don't want to get too spicy. And I want to throw some basil in as well. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've also got a really nice yellow onion. And I got a couple of garlic cloves because I want to get a little bit more garlicky. So adding the basil, the red pepper, the extra garlic, those are my first steps into creating something a little more myself. Now I kind of mostly have this here as a measure cup because obviously I don't need to dice this entire onion, but we should get going. And you may notice I'm still having my coffee as well. Okay, so let's get this kniff out and running. And let's just get this puppy cut in half here. Probably just end up putting that half aside for something else, throwing in a hot sauce or something. Actually, I have a really cool idea for a hot sauce right now. Got a lot of extra, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of extra serranos, red serranos right now. And that Mary grew, and I don't want them to go bad or to lose them. So, I was thinking some roasted red pepper, onion, red serranos. That could be kind of cool. Take off a layer here just for sake of safety and sanity and whatever. Oh, the humanity, the safety and sanity. Gunpowder plot, something like that, right? I don't know. Okay. See if I can get that back on there. There we go. Give me a paper towel for hands-os. Okay. So we'll just do the old restaurant style, Gordon Ramsay style. I guess it's more just restaurant style, shouldn't. And this is a wet boy too, so careful. All right. And again, I would not say I'm a kitchen ready pro chef. Obviously, I don't do things fast enough, but you know, anybody can do it. Just gotta get comfortable with it and just definitely keep an eye on your hands, be safe. It's supposed to be a bit of a fine dice, so some of this stuff that's already out of the way there we go. So I'm gonna kind of get this fairly small. And again, like I said, I'm a little out of the swing of it, so I'm going a little slower than I might normally. And my knife really needs sharpening. And I'm doing the stupid thing I thought I had trained myself not to, keeping my face right down in the onion. So I'm starting to get some of the onion fumes. There. That's a pretty good fine petite dice. Alright, so let's pack up a 1/4 cup of this. And that is a yellow onion, not particularly a sweet onion. And I am going for my finer diced areas. Hey! What you talking about diced for? No, Andrew, I said diced, not dice. Okay, hickory dickory no, Andrew. Hey, I gotta entertain myself, you know? Alright, let me find something to put that excess onion in, and then we'll prep the tomatoes and measure our other stuff, and we'll get going. Oh. Deal with the stingy eyes, though. Yeah, one of these is fine. It's probably overkill, but it'll get the trick done. Okay. Well, at least now I have something I can throw on a hot dog or something. I mean, normally I like white raw onion on a hot dog, but this is pretty good too. Or top some chili. I wish I had had time to make some hogzilly chili to take up to the Mahoning. Because, yeah, I guess if you don't follow me on the Twitters and everything, you don't know about the crazy weekend I just had. I probably mentioned it in some other videos. I just don't know if they've come out yet. But, yeah, I went on an adventure. Oh. Dang, man, my eyes are feeling that for sure. Oh. Sorry, I'm just off to the side, wiping them down. Whew. It's been a minute. Okay. Let's clean up a little bit here. I'm not looking for it to be perfect. Okay. I'm going to prep this garlic slightly. I got these really nice cloves, but they're like the stems are a little bit much, and that one has a bit of a bit in it, so I just want to have it ready to go in my garlic mincer. This is also partially why I grabbed like 2 of these instead of just one. It's because I lose a little bit to my mincer, but man, my mincer makes my life so much easier that I'm like, worth it. Okay. That should be all the composting I have for the moment. Let's get that in this bag. I know plastic, but I'm going to use it later, so I'm just trying to... Oh, crap baskets. We don't have any more the right size. All right, well, I guess we're going to use a quart bag then. That's fine. Quart bag will do the job. Because like I said, I may be actually using this later. I don't know if I'll do it on camera or not. Because we have too much going on. Ugh, I gotta go. So like, it's a Wednesday today, so Thursday we're going up to Cincinnati to see Puddle's Pity Party and Pip the Magic Dragon. Friday is our 8-year anniversary of dating. And I don't think we're going to be able to live stream. I was hoping, but I don't think so. Saturday, we're seeing Dawn of the Dead with a bunch of friends and maybe going to live Rocky Horror. Sunday, we're actually going to chill a little bit and enjoy our own kind of Halloween stuff at home. And then Monday is Halloween. And then next Tuesday is her mom and my dad's birthday. And the next day after that, we have a Mexican fiesta. No, not a fiesta. Yeah, a Mexican fiesta, I guess, party to go to. And no, that's the Wednesday. What's the Tuesday? Oh, the Tuesday's vaguely open. Okay, this can opener is starting to suck. And then Thursday, I go see a Godzilla movie. And then November can kind of start chilling the hell out a little bit. I can get into the Christmas time slowdown. Okay. Yeah. Damn it. This thing used to be pretty good. Not anymore. There it goes. There it goes. Alright. Shit. Maybe not. I need that sauce. Stop it. Yeah, it may be time to invest in a better can opener. Yeah, that's just... so annoying. Okay. Let's get all this in the bowl because we need to break these tomatoes up with our hands. Getting all the juice, the can out of here. All right, good enough. All right, I'm throwing gloves for this. I just prefer doing it with gloves on. You know, it's like safe sex, you know? Safe tomato smushins. All right. Now bend over and cough. All right, so again, if you've never done this before, basically we're just gonna tear these up into like tiny chunks, but when you first go in, you wanna grab each of the whole ones and kind of gently pull them apart. If you just kind of squish them, it'll splatter everywhere. I learned that very much the hard way the first time. So you'll see what I mean. Like that one's coming apart pretty easy. This was the whole one, so you want to open it up so the juice comes out. And then once you're sure you've kind of done that to all of them so you don't have any surprises, then you can just kind of go to town, tearing this all apart and mushing it up. So I'm still doing what I was showing you. I'm just kind of doing it down in the bowl. And I think I got all of them. Yeah, so then it's just like you can just kind of squish and tear and pull and peel, and you know, you don't have to peel. I kind of like squishing it through my hands, and you can feel it breaking up as you do it. And you know, I like to leave it a little bit chunky, but not too much. Like I actually feel like I might have already overworked this. I feel like this jar might have been a little more sauce than tomatoes too. So yeah, so you'll see it's kind of coming out as more of a pulp now. You know, still got a couple of bigger sections in there, but that's all looking pretty good. Okay. So everything is pretty much prepped, so we can start actually cooking this. It only takes a few minutes supervised, and then it's, you know, kind of let it like stew down for an hour, checking in on it every so often, so. And it should definitely make enough to make plenty of pizza fries, but also hopefully I'll have a little left over, and I bought a pizza crust so I can maybe make some pizza later because we're gonna have more sausage than we needed. All right. And I just hit my 10,000 steps, woohoo! Okay, I believe. Let me get the butter, and we are ready to start cooking. I can even put my ring back on at this point. All right, is that the unsalted extra creamy? Actually, I meant to leave this out so it'd warm up a little bit. But obviously we're using the Tillamook. We do the salted butter for the grilled cheese and stuff, but this does call for unsalted. So let me actually take a look at what it says to do. I know we're putting the butter and the oil in the pan, and we're gonna saute the onions and garlic, but let's look at exactly what it wants us to do there. All right, we broke up the tomatoes. Oh yeah, I need to measure my other ingredients too. Heat the oil and butter in a medium saucepan. I got my 3.5 quart, I think, stainless steel over here. On medium heat, when the butter is completely melted, add the onion. We're gonna cook for 3 to 5 minutes. Get the garlic in for about 30 seconds longer. Pour the crushed tomatoes in with the seasoning. Stir, reduce to low, simmer. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Okay. Okie dokie. It looks like I already splattered a little tomato in there. That's fine. So we want a tablespoon of the oil, but what's the other thing I need a tablespoon of? That's right, we're actually going to put some stuff together too. Hold on. Oregano, okay. So let's get one of these. Tablespoon of oil, tablespoon of that, actually the oregano is a teaspoon. Do I need a tablespoon? Oh, I guess I don't. I guess that tablespoon really is just for the oil then. Yep. All right, so teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of sea salt, and some black pepper. Let's go ahead and put that together. Teaspoon of sugar, teaspoon of oregano. Start with the oregano, it's a little easier to clean out. Make mine a little heaping. So there's a teaspoon. You know what? I'm going to put a little extra in there. I'm going to do about 1.5 teaspoons of oregano. Again, in an effort to make this a little bit more mine. And I do like oregano. All right, this says a teaspoon of sugar, so we got the white granulated. Thought about switching to brown sugar, but I don't think that would be good for a pizza sauce. I think we should stick with the... Get a little bit more in there. Can't seem to get this right. There we go. Teaspoon of sugar helps the medicine go down. All right. Then let's do... What do we want to do here? Half a teaspoon, or do you think we should do a whole teaspoon? I don't want to overdo it. Let's just do half a teaspoon of the basil. Especially since I'm running low. So half a teaspoon of basil, that's my additive ingredient. And then I'm thinking half a teaspoon of the red pepper flake. Because again, I don't want to go too heavy. I mean, I personally do, but Mary's got to eat this too, so we'll throw that in there. And then did we get the salt? We did not get the salt. We only got the sugar. How much salt? Half a teaspoon. It's supposed to be a teaspoon of sugar. Fuck, did I just put a teaspoon in there? Yeah, I put a teaspoon of sugar. Yeah. Okay. Half a teaspoon of fine salt. Right, yeah. Half a teaspoon fine salt and some freshly ground black pepper. I don't know if this is exactly fine sea salt, but it is... Break that up a little bit. Just remember how this works. But it is sea salt. It looks pretty fine. It's got some clumpage going on in there. Come on, man. Ah, great, and 4 o'clock. Oh, geez. That's why I did not do it over the thing. All right, there we go. There's that. All right, let me get my... Actually, do need to release this video. And my dad was chatting. Oh. Mary, okay. Too many people like, yo, I'm working. And some black pepper. Do I need to do anything to prepare this? Is it ready to go? It's a built-in grinder, but... Okay. Oh, it looks pretty good. Right, I'm gonna give that a little mix up. Just so when I dump everything in, it gets in there a little more evenly. Smells really good. I'm gonna set these aside. I might need them later for measuring the seasoning on the sausage. I need somewhere to set them though. There we go. All right. Actually, let me get a paper towel to do that. Dumped a crap ton of that salt when it finally dumped. That's right, I was gonna use this for the olive oil. I need a tablespoon of the olive oil in here. Let's go ahead and get medium heat up. Medium heat. Tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Okay. And let me get a knife. Let's get our tablespoon of butter. Okay. Go. And we clean as we go. Okay, so when you get that melting, it is melting. And 3 to 5 minutes for the onions. That all kind of mixing together. Get my garlic mincer ready. My dad know I'm cooking right now. He's waiting on an answer. Because he's probably wanting to know if I want him to take me somewhere to get something we need for later. Alright, so basically we're going to do the onions for 3 to 5 minutes until soft. We're going to add the garlic for 30 seconds. We're going to pour everything else in. Reduce to low and simmer for an hour. Pretty easy. At which point we'll start working the sausage probably. Can't believe it's 4 o'clock already. Actually, now that I realize I'm going to have to be cooking for at least an hour, I guess I'm not going to go get that stuff yet. Let's see, what do I want to use to work this stuff here? We'll start with a spoon, that's fine. Okay, there we go. I'm going to set a timer just for my own sake, I don't really need it. Echo, set timer 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Thank you.
By the way, during
Nope. Echo, no. Echo, no. Stop. Get everything kind of coated in the butter and oil. And honestly too, because I have a slightly bigger pan than what it calls for, I think this is going to take less time. I'm also going to try to move these in more towards the center for more consistent heating. And we're going to go ahead and load up a garlic clove. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, it smells good. Butter, oil, onions, hard to go wrong there. These are already softening up quite nicely. Yeah, we're going to err more on the 3-minute side, I'm pretty sure. For the sausage, it's mostly just a pound of Italian ground beef and a bunch of seasonings, and then you're just going to brown it, so it's going to be pretty easy. Or ground pork, excuse me, not ground beef. My brain and my mouth don't always communicate properly. So we're already a couple minutes in here. They are softening, but they might actually go a little more like 4 minutes. We'll see. Let me get my other cup of coffee in here too. So I can warm that drink back up. Third and final cup of the morning. Because this is my morning. My body is just wired for a different time of day. I think Mary's is too, but unfortunately her job makes her work real hours. Okay, I'm starting to see a little bit of browning, so that means they're starting to get a little bit warm. A little bit over. So that's probably a good time to start getting the garlic in. So I'm going to try and make a little bed, because the way I do my garlic, it takes a second. This way it can not burn in the pan. Oh yeah. All right, 30 seconds on that. Oh yeah, there comes the fragrance. And I see some of my onions browning slightly, but at least they're not burning. All right, just a few more seconds. We'll take this down to a low. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take it down to a low. Actually, a little between low and medium low. And let's get the tomatoes in the pan. Pour away from you. Ooh. All right. Seasonings in. Spaz out. Oh, that's right. I'm not. Sorry. I've recently learned that. I guess that's a word that I don't know. Listen, I don't need to use that word. I don't necessarily agree with people having, but then again, that's not my decision to make, really. So I can just not use a word. I got a big vocabulary. Okay. Okay, so actually, echo, cancel alarm. All right, so I'm actually going to bring the heat back up just for a second to kind of get it to a simmer point. But that's nice and mixed together, I'd say. All right, let me get rid of my garlic stuff here. That is the one problem, though, is I feel like I do lose a good chunk of the garlic to the... It doesn't smush everything 100% through, but as far as any kind of mincer I've ever used, this sucker does the job the best. Okay. All right, let's get this up to a simmer, and then we can start working the next phase of whatever we're doing, which is pretty much just measuring and mixing up some sausage mixins. Okie dokie. All right, and we will want to cover once we get that simmering. So now, let me see what's going on in here. And once it's simmering, you will want to kind of come stir it every 10 minutes-ish. Okay, starting to get a little heat running through it all. And basically, like you'll see right now, it's a very watery consistency. So the whole thing is we're just simmering it down to the thick level we want. So obviously nobody wants that as a pizza sauce right there. That's not going to be a good pizza sauce. That's way too thin. Some of you might want this thinner. Some of you might want it thicker. I like it a little almost pasty. Don't want it runny at all, you know? So we're just about to where we can call that a simmer. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it partially covered. From over my burner as best I can be. And I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I'm going to actually bring that heat down once it really starts to simmer, because it's starting to build up. Okay. So that basically takes care of the pizza sauce, essentially. So let's work on getting our sausage seasoning together. Now I just found a random recipe online. That's what I'm going to work from. Okay, that's definitely going. So we're going to take that heat down to between medium, low, and low. It's going to be different for everybody. Obviously, you got to know your own burners. All right. So I did save this thing as a screenshot. Okay, that's this stuff. So we got a pound of, I guess, lean ground pork. I did not see an option like I do with beef, you know, where it's 80-20, 15-85, whatever. So I just grabbed regular ground beef. 1 clove of garlic minced. Whoops. Shit. Well, I can still use that. All right, paprika, thyme, fennel seeds, and cayenne. This is like crushed thyme, which is interesting. Okay, hang on though. I didn't think through the fact that I would still want my garlic pressed, so need to just kind of wipe it back off here a little bit. And then we'll put the garlic in separate. We won't pre-prep the garlic. All right, so let me get another little cup thing so we can do mise en place. Okay. All right, I know I bought some of this stuff just the other day. I got fennel seeds. Okay, see, I got some thyme. Here's some thyme. We'll start with that one so we can crush it. All right, paprika and cayenne. All right, I know I got those. But now I've got to dig for them. Well, some of them. There's the cayenne. And the paprika. Where are you at? I'm trying to remember where it is because I do use that fairly reasonably. It's going to be after the oregano. And I'm sure I have complained about this before. And actually, I just noticed... Okay, I have some other thyme in here, so I just wasn't sure at the time. So we'll actually use this thyme instead. Don't need to open the fresh boy yet. Okay. I don't know why I put that back. I'm going to put everything back anyways. All right, so how much time? Oh, Echo, set timer for 1 hour.
1 hour. Starting now.
Teaspoon. All right, thank you. All right, a teaspoon of thyme. And then we'll get in there and crush it up a little bit. I got a little heavy, so. I'm just using the back of the spoon. I hear it crunching, so I'm assuming that's working. Using the front of the spoon to kind of chop at it. Gotta be careful, I'm exploding some out. Push and twist, push and twist. Just realized too, it did not clarify if it was crushed or dried thyme. I'm assuming dried thyme. Is it actually doing anything? Yeah. I guess it's just we're just trying to get this, down to be smaller and not as fibrous, I guess. That's probably actually the perfect word for it. Yeah. I don't know that it's really going to do much more than that, so I'm going to call that as good. So thyme is handled. Sauce is looking good. All right, teaspoon of paprika. Don't want to go too heavy on it because Mary is very spice sensitive. Okay. So that should be good for that. I'm going to take my heat down a little bit more. That simmer is a little intense for what we're looking for there. I'm pretty sure this was like a quarter and an eighth is what was coming next. So, well, half on the fennel and an eighth for the cayenne. Going a half for the salt. Okay. You're an eighth. I'll take you. And 2. No. No. Should grab this while it's in there, I guess. No, that's 3/4. Half. All right. Get my. Doesn't say what kind of salt, so I will use my kosher salt. And that is the half. And you'd think I would just leave my dang phone out and look. All right, so we already got the paprika and the thyme. So we need half teaspoon of fennel seeds. Now this is brand new to me. I've never made this kind of sausage. I looked at a couple recipes. This one sounded more accurate to me, flavor profile wise. I don't know why I got 2 half teaspoons. Oh man, that smells so good. Yeah, that smells like pizza sausage. I'm gonna go a little heavy with it. Heavy hand. Now I already laid it on the cutting board, so I'm gonna do half teaspoon of this salt. And then we need an eighth, a teaspoon of the paprika. No, the cayenne. Okay, good. And then I'm going to want to give this sauce a stir here in a second. And before I throw that in there, let's use this to stir it all up. That smells fucking awesome. Like seriously fucking good. Okay. So that's all of that. Let's take a quick stir on this. And you can already tell it's thickening up just the slightest bit. Excellent. Excellente. All right, so now we need another bowl. And I need to get my ground beef, but I also need to tell my dad something. Okay. So basically we're going to put our... Oh, I got to not forget my garlic. We got to get that. Place the raw ground pork into a mixing bowl. Measure out your herbs and spices. Sprinkle over the pork. Thoroughly mix everything together. Brown the meat in a skillet over medium-high heat. Drain sausage on paper towel lined plate. Add cooked sausage to your pizza. The other toppings of choice. Okay. So let me not forget that garlic clove, actually. And this time we will stick to what it says. We'll just try to make sure we get a really beefy boy off the tree here. That one's looking a little rotty. Oh, wait, you show me the way every day. I'm just going to peel this puppy since it's just one. And since it's fresher garlic, it has been peeling a lot easier for me, and I probably just jinxed myself. Why do you let me say these things, people? And come on now. Come on. And we got it. Okay. Not too bad. I'm just gonna take that little nub off. Now I do need to run out to the garage and grab the meat out of the beer fridge, which has an overflow section for my meat when I buy it. Tend to over grocery. I have gotten a lot better in the past. That's coming along nicely. So enjoy watching the sauce simmer for a moment while I take care of some business. Here. Yep, Daddy's doing the cooking thing again. You're okay, buddy. You don't gotta run from me. Alright. Got our pound of Kroger ground pork. So let's just freaking glove up and do it. Come on. It's just so much easier with gloves. I know some people love gloves, some people hate gloves. I obviously do wash my hands and such, but I think some of you know, some of you don't. I do have a fairly severe eczema that often causes problems when I start to overwash. So that's why I tend to want to go with gloves myself more often than not. Let's get this pork opened. And then I didn't really think that through, but it's fine. Get on in there. All right, let's try to get this garlic in there. Really contaminated that hand yet. All right, garlic going in. And since it's not cooking, we may try to get a little more out of that by kind of moving it around. You can almost kind of reposition it and maybe get some more out of it, just a little bit. All right. That I'm going to call as correct. All right, I'm going to break this up just a little bit here. Okay, now let's get this in, and then we'll really go to town working the seasonings in. So I'll just kind of work it a little bit as I'm moving stuff around here. I don't know that this is a necessary step, but it makes me feel like I'm doing a better job of getting it blended through. And that's all of it. All right, full bore here. Smells really good. Yeah, that paprika cayenne fennel combination is All right. Okay. I'm thinking that feels pretty good and worked through. Since again, this isn't supposed to hold together as a patty or whatever, it's supposed to be kind of a crumbled sausage. Kind of using a similar hand method I used on the tomatoes, kind of puncturing, pushing through with my thumbs and, you know, twisting around and such. Okay. Of course, my hands are now very greasy. All right. Okay. Set the way. This can get, actually I'll use that in a second. All right, so I'm gonna shift the camera over because I'm gonna have to do this sausage on a back burner here. So let's reposition. Again, it's been a minute. There we go. Okay, that works. Get my, okay, that on. See what I'm missing on the social medias. Cool. Did I miss a phone call? Yeah, but it was spam. Sorry, Art the Clown. I was gonna go see you in a theater again, but I probably won't get to see you in a theater again. Maybe if they get a 5th week added. It's just, they did add a 4th week, but they added it at a time that I'm not gonna be able to because of my first week in November still being pretty busy. So yeah, you can see it is bringing up all the water to the top and simmering that out, but it's definitely still got a ways to go. All right, so the sausage doesn't really need anything oily in the pan because all that fat's going to create its own cooking grease, basically. All right. Medium-high heat. All right, so let's get that up to medium-high. I know that usually works pretty good for a pound, that size skillet. I don't know the size to tell you. And we're gonna get my chopper out. Is that my... Is this the... Wow, it's been a week and now I can't remember which is my favorite spatula. How is that possible? I should know which is my favorite. I mean, they're both gonna do the trick. I don't want to break it up as much, so we'll... No, this one feels better. That's what it is. This one has a better feel. So we're going to go with this puppy. We will use the spoon rest here. That's about ready to go. And I'm just going to use this knife to get out any extra pork. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Let's get it in there. All right. Start breaking it up a little bit. Just chopping it up. Because it's immediately starting to brown. And again, we don't want to get this too fine a ground, so come on. Release some of your fattiness, will you, so you don't... Just take that heat down just a touch. Because we don't want, like, you know, I'm not like trying to get a fine ground chorizo for taco style here. We do want like nuggets. Scrape as I go. You probably won't have the scraping issue if you're in a non-stick pan, but I definitely feel like you get better browning. And again, once you start getting some of the fat released, a lot of that will come up a lot easier. And it'll shrink up some, you'll have more room in the pan before you're done. And this should really take about 8 minutes, roughly. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to see some fat get released. So I'm going to stop chopping for a bit and start flipping so we don't end up with too much fine crumble. And it might be wise to do this in a slightly bigger pan, but I has what I has, and this works for me, so. shit. Fuck me. I just saw a big chunk go on the floor. I can't have the cats go eat that. Well, fuck me. I don't know where it went. Okay, well. Must not have been that big a chunk. Or I would have seen it. I need to wash that now because I just contaminated raw pork. Alright, we're starting to get there now. Chop it up a little bit more. Trying to work some of the more raw bits into the heat. Get them nice and seared off. Okay. We give the sauce a stir. It's been simmering for about 20 at this point. Still very watery, but it is coming along. And then I probably need to work on prepping a paper towel lined plate for all the sausage. Okay, let that go for a minute. Cool. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is coming together very nicely now. Smells good. And again, this is my first time doing this, but in the future I might play with this and adjust, you know, a little more fennel, a little less heat. I feel like even maybe should have thrown in like a or a quarter teaspoon of something of sugar. Alright, but now we're at a place where you can definitely start breaking up some of these more gigantic bits, unless you want it really chunky. I mean, I want it kind of chunky. I want your kind of standard pizza sausage, you know? Okay, this is getting pretty close, I'd say. Maybe another minute or two. Almost there. Drink some coffee. It's getting cold. It is almost cold. All right. What's going on out there? Obviously, Terrifier 2 is going to hit streaming on Screambox on Halloween, which I hope doesn't eat too bad into its theatrical greatness that's going on, but it might. And I will still try to see it in a theater for a second time if I can. So obviously, when I give you a review, you can tell that I'm going to like it. Yeah, I'm thinking this is just about done. Give it like another minute. Oh, 40 minutes, it's an hour, damn. Now I gotta figure out the fries. But also, I would like to go finish my morning routine before we actually put these together, which is fine, because these things are gonna get reheated, because they're gonna go in an oven at one point. And we'll still have to grate some cheese, because I like to do a certain cheese blend. If you've ever seen my pizzas, I like a good chunk of provolone. I do like this pre-shredded mozzarella, the Tillamook. Normally I would not go for a pre-shredded bag cheese, but that stuff is kind of magical. And we'll throw some Parm on there too. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that can pretty much be pulled. So I think we're going to do that. Let me give this a... Well, the sauce can wait on a stir a little bit longer. But once the heat turns off, I'll set that there so the flame doesn't catch paper towel on fire. Not yet. Not yet. I also feel like maybe I could have done a little oregano in there, in the sausage. Or maybe a little red pepper. I got ideas. One more little stir here. Yeah. All right, heat off. Just makes it a little bit easier to transfer. Kind of really surprised the cats haven't been up here a lot more. All the food smells. But also it's kind of cold, so they're probably all downstairs cuddling. Oh, you'll line this with a lot more paper towel. Yeah, I'm desperately wanting to try this. All right, I'm gonna give this a quick little scrape down while it's still hot and easier to do. Oh man. A lot of deglazing is needed up on the sides. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to put some elbow grease into cleaning that up later. Okay, let's give the sauce a stir here. And we may be shutting down the camera for a little bit. Just because you don't need to see me simmer for another 30 minutes. Whoop. Definitely thickening up, but still it's still a little bit wetter than, say, a marinara or a gravy or, you know, pasta sauce. Your kind of common kind. I gotta try a little bit of this sausage, just a tiny piece. Mmm. Oh shit, that's pretty good. Yep. Mmm. Yep, that is good. We have done well. Okay, so that's really all there is for now. I'm gonna look into what I need to do for the fries. I don't know if I really want to bust out the fryer or if we're gonna oven bake them. Because I was about ready to put the fryer away for a while, but I'm gonna figure all that out. I'll obviously let you know once I know. And I'm gonna do a little cleaning up and try to finish this coffee and some morning routines. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so it's been, I don't know, maybe about an hour or whatever. Obviously, I have taken my shower. It's 6:48 p.m. I've run into a little bit of a problem. Luckily, Mary's still at the grocery. She'll be home. It's gonna take a little longer to do this than we thought. But let me bring the camera down, show you what's up here, what we're doing now. So obviously we have this delicious sausage that I can't stop taste testing. It's quite good. I think I would definitely improve it in the future. I'd go a little more spices in it. I'd hit the fennel a little harder, and I'd make it a little bit saltier, but it was pretty daggone good. So I did about an hour and 5 minutes of simmering this down. I gave it an extra 5. So like that's kind of the texture, you know, that we're looking for. So it's hearty, it'll hold to things, stuff like that. Now, I have recently drained my old peanut oil out of my fryer, my deep fryer, and I had another jug. I thought it was a full gallon. It was not, so I didn't quite even hit my minimum fill line, so that's what I'm gonna have to wait for on the fries. I mean, I could air fry the fries, I could do other things, but I figure I wanna get real traditional with it, so that's what we're gonna do. So now I got some provolone. This is actually some really old provolone, but I mean, it is keeping forever. So we're gonna go ahead and get a bunch of this grated up. Let's go on this side with it. Let's get some big grates. Because again, my cheese blend that I like is provolone, mozzarella, and some Parmesan. You can kind of go for what you want. You can change it up. You really don't want to use bag stuff typically, because they do put an anti-coagulant in there to keep it from clumping up, and that can make it harder to melt. However, I will say this Tillamook we're about to use, different story. I don't know, it just melts really, really good. So I don't know what their secret is, but I got some kind of harder spots back here. I don't really want to get into that with the provolone, so now let's see if this round still has some good stuff left on it. It does. Can I break it out? Yeah. Can we use this side of it? Probably. Yeah, sweet. All right. I gotta remember I'm mixing this in with some mozzarella too, so I don't want to blend up or shred up too much of that. And we'll shred the parm more fresh on top of the thing. I just kind of wanted to get this part out of the way on the camera. And I guess while I wait on Mary, I'll go shoot some reviews that I'll edit into this later in the video. I'm gonna drink some wine once I'm finished drinking that bottle of water, because I am still very dehydrated from this past weekend. And I need to be a little bit better about that. That should be plenty for like a single order. That actually might be enough for 2 orders, to be honest. And then Chef's Kiss gets a little provolone. Make sure it still tastes lively. Okay, that's really good. Actually, that also reminds me that I did, I'm gonna actually taste test this and see how my additions went over. So we're gonna get just a little bit of a taste. Enough of a taste to have a taste. You can see that. Yeah. Okay. It'll be better when I kind of tell it with everything, but I like it. I think I get that hint of basil in there. I probably could have gone heavier on the basil. The red pepper is nice, but I probably could have doubled the red pepper. I probably could have doubled the red pepper and the basil in there. And actually, instead of just giving an extra half teaspoon or whatever I did of oregano, could have gone a full, whatever it was, teaspoon, tablespoon, I don't remember. But that's pretty spot on. I like the extra garlic in there. I could probably go 3 cloves, obviously, because I like it really garlicky, but I love garlic. All right, so that's really all I've got to show you until I can get the fryer going with the fries. We got Ore-Ida crinkle cut fries. I got like kind of pie pans to put the whole thing together in, just like it was sort of served to us out there. Not exactly the same, but it's what I could do on the short notice. And yeah, unfortunately, Mary is on the other side of town though, so it'll be like good 20, 25 minutes before she gets home. So I guess I'm just going to drink and shoot reviews. I've already done the dishes. They're running, other than what I'm going to continue to mess up. And then I've pretty much handled the recycling. I guess I do have a little bit of trash, because it's trash day. I could deal with a little bit of trash. And hopefully it'll be done by 8 and we can sit down and watch Joe Bob's first half of the Halloween special, because I was waiting because she wanted to see it, Haunted Hills. And anytime Mary wants to watch Joe Bob, I want her to watch it, so. Have a little provolone. We got a little preview. Oh, that's good. Now, I don't know if I said this. Keep in mind, I'm making the traditional pizza fries. It's pepperoni and sausage. You could put whatever you want in them. It's basically like, you could do anything like this with fries. It's basically like, treat it like nachos. It's like hot dogs, it's like hamburgers, like pizza. They're all delivery methods for great toppings. Although fries typically are great on their own, but you could say that about corn chips and stuff as well. So, all right, that's all I got for now. So, all right, all right. So we have our peanut oil. We have peanut oil in our fryer at 375 degrees. It is preheated. Fresh oil. I have Ore-Ida golden crinkle fries. Does not fill the basket more than halfway full. And I gotta be a little bit careful because these ice crystals may drop in and splatter. Maybe I shouldn't let the basket, in this case. That's probably good. I'm gonna drop those in. And let's lid that up. Echo. Set timer for 7 minutes.
7 minutes. 7 minutes.
A lot of fries went in there. Okay. Now. While we wait, let's get this oven preheated to something. Let's go 400? That sounds good. Bake. 400. Start. All right, and then where's my, so I can know what I'm looking at. So I got these pie tins. We're just gonna fill one with some fries, load it up with goodies. Actually, we may do 2 batches because I made a lot of fries. Made a lot of fries. And as you can see, I got my Tillamook mozzarella. I got some of my provolone. I mean my Parmigiano Reggiano. Let me get me some pepperonio out and ready to go-yo. And you know what? We're gonna hit this also with a little bit of dried basil at the end. So let me get that back out. That tiny touch of basil I had left. And now for the most important part. Haven't gotten to it. I made myself drink a bottle of water first. Let's have some wine. Ooh, we're going with fancy wine tonight. We got the Kimmy C. Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc. A delectably light and smooth. Now normally I'll drink barefoot, but that's because it costs about a third of this. And it's a little more tangy. Alright, so we've already been about 2 minutes. And I need to look at those instructions again one more time. I know it said to put them on a plate lined with paper towel to drain. Preheat, alright. Fire basket, not more than half full. 3 to 7 minutes, cook to light golden, drain on paper towel, season to taste. Yes. So we will be seasoning, and I'm going to use some sea salt. So I guess I can actually prep that out a little bit, since this thing is like just a big clump in there. So where can I do it? We can do it right here. We'll see if we need more. I just want to use that so I don't like drop a giant clump of salt on top of it. And we drink. Opa! And alright, it's been almost 3 minutes. Now I need to take a picture of something that I can't tell you about yet in case you haven't seen it. Oven is preheating. You know what? Let's grind some black pepper onto these fries too. Let's hit them with a little salt and pepper. Get all fanciful. Doesn't say how long to wait on the fries. I'm getting excited, y'all. It is 7:32 p.m. The weather outside is frightful. No, it's 51 degrees. It's been gloomy all day. A little drizzly. A little wet. Like me. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing that I canceled on Terrifier too. Oh, and soon, by the way, I shall remind you, somewhere in November we will do our finale of the grilled cheese, the Tournament of Toasties. All right, it's been about 4 minutes on these. I'm gonna kind of peek at them. They're still a little light in color. We'll give them a little bit longer. Let's actually move the camera to the angle that will show you that, so when they come out, maybe you can see them a little bit.
Should I hold off on doing litter at this point?
Well, if you do it like right now, how long? Yeah. If you do it like right now, you might be all right. Because the fries will need to cool for a minute. I'll need to build the thing and let it bake in the oven for like 5 minutes or so.
Okay, you have your oven preheated.
Plus we get some yummy French fries too, so there's that as well.
Hey, hon?
2 minutes, yeah?
Did you hear me?
No.
I asked, do you have your oven preheated?
No, it's preheating right now. By the time they dry it,
Okay.
I'm on the plan.
Just making sure.
No, I appreciate it. In case I forgot, thank you.
Alright, buddies, I'm gonna go steal your poops.
Oh, Mom's gonna steal your poops. Daddy's gonna make some more for Mommy and Daddy.
Actually, I should take a blue pill.
Yeah, Mary's gonna take the Viagra.
I wish. Or
Wait.
Eric wishes, actually, but...
No, why would I want you to take Why would I wish for you to take Viagra? That would mean our sexual dynamic is very different than it is.
Well, we can take Viagra.
Do they? For what? Well, we don't have time for this. You gotta scoop the poops if you want to be ready in time. Otherwise, you gotta wait. But I do want to know if you remember to tell us later. Okay, I'm gonna take the lid off so I can see at this point. Because they might actually be getting to that good color we're looking for. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna call that. So, I'm gonna pull these up. Oh yeah. Give it a little bit of a shake. Let those drain a bit. Oh, baby. If I had more time, I'd make some other fried foods. We got a bunch of jalapenos that need to get used, and a bunch of bacon, and I got a bunch of cream cheese, and like, I ain't got time for that. Okay, so now I'm gonna try the best I can to get these on this plate without burning anything. Oh, this was a terrible idea of how to do this, by the way. Shit, I hope one of those didn't just go in the oil. Oh, fuck. Yeah, ow, fuck. Okay. This is all a big mistake. Big mistake. Oh, shit. Fuck me. Fuck me very much. I need to get that out of there. Echo, cancel timer. Nope, I need my big ones. Where are my big ones? It's just that one, right? Right. No, there's like two. And you. Oh, no. That's secure. Okay. Whew. Shit. Dribbling everywhere. Try one of these that fell on the counter. Yep. Got it just right. Try to spread these out a little bit so we can season them while they're warm. Fuck. Alright, let me get the camera back over here. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what's causing the oil to go crazy at the moment. I don't see anything in there. Anyways, we'll deal with that. Fries. Woo. You know what? Let's do it like this because I'm getting big clumps of salt in some places. Seriously, I don't know why that's going off like that. Come on, new pepper grinder thing. Not a lot, a little bit. Oh, I see, there's a fry I missed. Fuck. Okay, I see the deal. Shit. I don't know, we're going to turn the fryer off at this point, because I ain't going to fry anything else right now. And that's making me all nervous as fuck. I kind of feel like I should have had these in a better basket for tossing. Okay. Yeah. Made a big old mess over there. Alright. Sorry for the noise, not a lot I can do. I'm going to take the power out too. Ooh. Well, that was a little warm. Alright, so let's start building. So, we want to layer out some fries. Should really work on layering this side so they... And I don't think we really want like a flat fucking layer. You want to have some nooks and crannies for sauce and stuff to get into. Like that's probably pretty good. A little more salt. Get to some of those I didn't quite salt. Same here. Pepper is a nice little touch. Okay. Move these out of the way for now. Okay. So now, let's sauce these up a bit. Oh yeah. That's probably pretty good. Maybe a little bit more in there. Yeah, let's just go for it, right? All right, let's see if we can kind of tap some of that down in there. All right, now let's start provoloning. All right, that looks pretty good. It's mozzarella. Try to leave it a little bit evident what we're actually eating here for visual sake. All right, I know parm. I said parm, but hang on. How do I get into this? Do I need to cut this or something? Peel. Start loading in some. My hands are a little greasy. A little pepperoni. Oh no, I just really split that weird. That's probably going to be enough. At least the oil seems to have calmed. Okay, let's get some sausage in there. Just announced today we're getting a Sausage Party sequel. Yay! Make sure we get plenty of sausage in here. Okay, let's do a touch more cheese. Let me get a little parm in there. Okay, we're going to call that good enough. And let's hit it with a little extra basil. There we go. All right, that should be all we need to do. Now we just got to get it in the oven. I don't know, 5-10 minutes? I don't really know what I want to do here. We're about to find out. Okay. All right. Oh, you know what? I should take a pre-shot here. Okay, I like it. Alrighty, here it goes to nothing. We'll put it in the middle oven rack. Echo. Set timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Okay. Alrighty. Definitely used a lot more pizza sauce than I thought, but that's enough for a pizza or another round of these. And we want to keep our eyes on those. I'm just guessing 10 minutes at 400. I really have no idea. Because I don't want to overcook the fries. See, that's going to be the weird balance. And that's probably what I'm likely to fail at today. But we want to make sure that the cheese gets nice and melty. And yeah, I mean, you can like throw onions, you can do all kinds of stuff in here, man. So I'm just gonna work on cleaning up and eating some of these fries. Which, hot damn, turned out fucking great. Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't decide to cook the fries some other way, because they just never compare when you try to cook your french fries other than in oil. I mean, oven baked is okay. It's pretty good, close second. Air fryer, even though they have directions for air fryer, I think it lacks an insane amount of flavor. Figure out that pepperoni a little later. The lid for that. We'll definitely get all that sausage in something. A lot less was used than I anticipated. I knew I wouldn't use all of it, but... Okay. I'm curious about these fries that went back into oil. I guess they're technically still good. No reason to waste them, right? Alright, how are we at? Where are we at? It's only been like 2 minutes. I'm gonna... Where's the oven light? There we go. Okay. It's gonna take a little time. But, at this point, I don't think there's any reason for you to watch me. So we'll just jump over to showing you the results when they come out of the oven and doing our taste test. So, we'll be back. Yo. I pulled them out at 8 minutes. That looks and smells so good. Oh yeah. I'm very excited to get in here. So yeah, 8 minutes at 400 seemed to do the trick. And now, I just can't wait to taste it. I already took some photos. Mary just took the litter out to the garbage can, so she'll be ready in just a minute. I'm sure it needs to cool for a second. My biggest question is, what did it do to the fries? And did we put enough sauce in there? And was I right? They look really good. All right, we're about to find out. Okay, Mary's gonna come try them in just a second. But I gotta know. I gotta get in here and see if we can get the right bite. A little bit of fry, a little bit of sauce, a little bit of sausage on that one, a little bit of cheese, a little pepperoni maybe. That's too much. There we go, that. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's like the best thing I've ever made or had, but it is pretty good. I'm starting to think, okay, what can I do to improve? Because it's tasty as fuck. Yeah, that's what they were supposed to taste like. Not congealed cheese end of the night fries. The fries got a little soggy. That's good though. I'm a happy camper. Let's try one more time for a cheese pull. Good thumbnail. It's much better than what we had.
Okay.
You're welcome to help me because I don't need to eat all this.
Oh, you're
If you want your own.
I thought you might be.
I was gonna say if you want your own fork or something.
Trying to make sure I get.
But for this, this fries could have been a little crispier. I'm not gonna lie. That was Mary's complaint with the regular fry though.
Yeah, just a little bit. Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Flavor-wise, not bad.
Much better than what we had, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But again, like I said, it may have just been because we had late night.
Oh, there's pepperoni in here, too.
Oh, yeah, just like they did. Pepperoni and sausage, cheese, french fries, pizza sauce.
Too many. Get right, actually, everything. Come on.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying for, too, is get me that perfect bite. I like the additions to my sauce. I think the sauce is pretty good. That little bit of red pepper is just right in there. Well, I mean,
Yeah, it's fairly tasty.
Okay, well, you definitely can help me with it because that's a lot. I don't need all that. But it is dinner. You didn't eat dinner yet, or did you get a hot dog?
No, I didn't.
Oh. She went to Costco. That's why. All right. Hey, baby, you want a hot dog? I got one. But I scream.
When I chew.
Yeah. All right. Movie reviews, unboxings, cocktail stories. More to come. Movie review section. So I guess first I'm going to talk about Halloween Ends for a few minutes. I'll keep it no spoilers. If I want to talk spoilers, I'll warn you first. But I've only seen it once. So here's my initial thoughts, right? I've only seen it once. I wanted to get back to... The plan was I was going to go to the theater today, see it a second time in the theater to really assess my feelings, and see Terrifier 2 for a second time. But I'm doing too much. So I needed to stay home for a day and get other things done. So this is my review based on seeing it one time. And I very much did not enjoy it, personally. To each their own. If you loved it, hey, cool. I'm just here to tell you what my experience with it was. Now, I will also say my disenjoyment of it, or my lack of enjoyment, comes from being a victim of my own expectations, and a little bit how it was sold and marketed and hyped. Especially having rewatched the original Halloween, then 2018, then Halloween Kills, and liking Kills a lot more the second time, plus watching the director's cut with the director's cut ending, which makes my bafflement in this last one even more. But that's a little bit, again, that's on me, because I watched a different ending. I wasn't sure. I had never seen it, wanted to see it. And the thing is, this movie just like they set up, they redid Halloween. And I know there are shitty sequels before, and I still love those too, but I think the problem here is it's a modern day where franchises are getting like the love of the creators we've always wanted them to have. I mean, we had a guy that seemed to know what he was doing really well, and then they just decided to do something completely weird and different. And there are ways this movie could have worked if things had been established or more set up, or characters had been around longer than what we got in this, because this is like about almost completely new characters, and there are things like major deaths in the last movie that are just completely glossed over and disregarded, like you think would be a bigger deal. I know people are trying to move on and stuff, and I know what they're trying to do with this movie, which is why I want to watch it again, and I'd like to judge it on the merits of what it's trying to do. But having only seen it the first time, I'm terribly disappointed. I mean, the actual... Because this was all sold as like Halloween Ends. This is all sold as we've been selling you this modern trilogy that is a sequel trilogy to the original film. And honestly, watching 2018 and then Kills, like they work as that. So I expected it to be just this more epic showdown. Like really, they should have used more of the end of Kills for Ends. Like they should have had the whole mob thing and like built more into that in Ends. And because I think that was the original plan. The original plan was it was supposed to take place that same night, and all three films were going to be on the same night, not this 4 year later jump. And again, that's not a huge spoiler because that's like right in the beginning. But also I think it's like the characterizations, where we left certain characters and where they are now 4 years later. Sure, that can happen, but it feels completely wrong to me. And after the brutality of Kills in 18 and like the murder scenes in there and how terrifyingly, horrifically violent they were, everything in here, other than a very comedic, makes most people laugh opening kill and Ends, is very subdued. And it's like, this is vaguely spoilery, but the thing they did with a certain new character, that's most of the movie, it would have been interesting if they had done that like with a legacy character from the last film. Like instead of just killing that legacy character off in Kills, it might have been kind of interesting because they were kind of weird in Kills the whole time too. But if they were going to go this story with that character, I can't. All right, I tell you what. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to say a spoiler. And if you don't want to hear it, just go la 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 or whatever. As soon as you see my hand come away, I'm out of the spoiler, okay? Is that a warning? So, spoiler. So I'm thinking instead of this Corey guy in the new movie, it should have been Tommy Jarvis because he seems so amped up and angrier about it than you would have expected in Kills. So it could have made sense that it drove him into being, what we got. Okay? There you go. End of spoiler. And then, the end, what happens to Michael, all that, I like that. That works. But the marketing very much misrepresented. The marketing is pretty much like the last 20 minutes of the movie. And I don't know. So anyways, that's my thoughts on Halloween Ends. I'll give it another go for sure. And I'll watch it again. It was disappointing to me because, again, having watched everything in a row, it was like building to this epic finale. And it's like, damn, where are they going to go from here? How are they going to top all of that? And if they top all of that, it's going to be the best Halloween thing ever. And instead, they're like, nah, we're not even going to try. We're going to do this instead. And it just felt like the rug was pulled out from under us for something marketed as like this epic ender. So, but I get it. I get why a lot of people like it. It's like, yeah, they try to do something different with it. They really did. And I just think it just wasn't, they didn't prepare us for it. And I think it was the wrong point in time, the wrong point in the franchise to try something different like this. Actually, this could have been a good sequel to a proper Halloween Ends. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking right now. But, to each their own. You liked it. Awesome. I just wish I had liked it more. All right, moving on. Terrifier 2. Damn. As I've already been talking about in this vlog, I want to see it again in the theater. I want to see it on Screenbox, and this should tell you how much I love it. Not only am I going to sign up for Screenbox, which you can watch for free with ads, but I'm going to pay $5 a month. And I have already pre-ordered the Walmart Steelbook Blu-ray, the Amazon Collector's Edition Blu-ray that has features the others don't, and I'm constantly looking for that Best Buy 4K Steelbook link to come up because that's how much I love this movie and how much I want to support it. The first one, I really enjoyed. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was perfect, but it is messed up and it's weird. And I know certain people have a certain issue with a certain killing implement that Art the Clown used, but I think that was more horrific the more I thought about it. But I don't want to get into spoilers. So this one is long. Doesn't necessarily feel long to me. I was just more shocked to find out how long it was the first time I was going to see it and how late I was going to be at the theater. But man, oh man, the artistry in the gore here is absolutely on fire. And again, I got into horror and filmmaking early because of special effects. So like Tom Savini, and I'm like, man, Savini, it just must be like proud of everything he's started, because we are here now. And it's awesome. And I like that they started adding a little story to it. I like where the story's going, but I like they still leave enough vague. They definitely add some new layers to Art the Clown, who at this point is absolutely firmly cemented as a classic slasher. It's hard to say classic because it's so new, but I mean, like, he belongs in the pantheon of your Freddy Krueger, your Jason Voorhees, your Michael Myers, your Leatherface, although Leatherface was never a slasher. But he was, he did some slashing, but that's another story. We don't want to talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre right here, but Art is so creepy in here. And like the new things, like the little girl and things like that, wow. There is sadness and darkness in his brutality too, and the horrors of what he could do to you, and like the body horror. It's sort of a slasher body horror hybrid of what he can do to your bodies and keep you alive to experience it while you're doing it, and then laugh and be charming while also doing it. It's just this really weird combination. And I really like the main characters in here. Yes, the mom was kind of an annoying bitch, but I think she was supposed to be. And it works really well. And then our main lead is fucking phenomenal as a final girl, and her younger brother is incredibly good in this too. And I just really, really liked them. The dream sequence at first, I was like, I don't know about this dream sequence. It seems kind of weird. We're in this for a long, long time, but at the same time, it's really awesome, and there's some greatness in there too. And I don't know, I can't say enough about it, especially without spoiling it, because again, it's not super story heavy. It is very much a slasher film, but it's like just creepy and charming and lovable all at the same horrific time. And like the whole Art the Clown handing out candy thing is so hilarious. If anybody does that for real on Halloween now, not for real, but like if they dress up and kind of recreate that as their Halloween candy giving experience, that would be hilarious and terrifying. I bought an Art the Clown mask. I'm fully obsessed. I am still going to see it in the theater if it gets a 5th week. It's just that it has gotten a 4th week, but the timing of all the dates are not going to work for me in the first week of November. But if it gets a 5th week, I might be able to go see it in the theater again. And then maybe they'll do like a Terrifier 2 re-release when the Inevitable 3 comes out. Because this thing, if you don't know about it had a $250,000 budget. It was supposed to open one night only as a Fathom event, and it did so well in pre-sales, theaters started booking it for a weekend. Then they added a week, then they added a week, then they added a week. People like Good Morning America, Howard Stern, all these major outlets talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. It's not all hyperbole. I know for a fact, some of the vomit stories and fainting stories are absolutely real. Especially, I think, if you don't know what movie you're going into, if you've just heard all this hype about Terrifier 2 and you go see it, there's some things in there that, yeah, you're going to have a hard time with. But I freaking loved it, and I cannot wait for Terrifier 3. All right, last night, I watched Pearl, the sequel to X, the Ty West films. They came out in the same year. Well, it's a prequel to X, starring Mia Goth. And you know what? I liked X. I was a little disappointed. I thought it was going to be a little more than it was, but I really liked it, and it had a great tone and style harkening back to the 70s. But I loved Pearl. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to think. But the way he does this classic style to it, and it's very Hitchcockian, and then very of that era of super saturated, almost as if it was shot in Technicolor. And the music, the way it plays, even the opening long shot panning through her room, to land on her. And then some of the more in her head dreamish sequences. Like, it is awesome. And the first third half of the movie, somewhere in there, it's really more of a drama with just a little bit of impending tension. But then the tension starts to happen, and then you're kind of on edge. And then it goes all the way through a wonderful payoff that makes me very excited to see what the third movie is. Because I know that's coming soon. I forget anything about it. But no, Pearl I absolutely adored. I'm really disappointed I did not get to see it in the theater. I had planned to, but it was literally only out in the theaters for like a couple of weeks, and it was while we were on honeymoon, so I was never able to make it work. But again, if that gets a theater re-release someday, I need to see it on the big screen, because that is a movie meant to be seen on the big screen. And Mia Goth is fantastic in it. The only gripe I have is there is one moment where I kind of checked out or lost a little bit of interest. And that is, there's like this 6 or 7 minute monologue near the end that could have been 3 or 4 minutes, or at least could have not been a single static shot. Again, incredibly well performed. I'm talking about especially that monologue. Incredibly interesting things said in there. But it went so long with nothing else visually taking me, because I would have liked to seen the reaction a little bit to some of the things being said. But even then, if you're not, it just felt a little long. But that's like my only complaint, and that's not even a major complaint. It doesn't ruin the movie for me at all. Maybe that's something I'll grow to love even more over time. But I loved it, man. And like the ending, the ending is pretty awesome. It's not quite as violent or gory, but there is plenty of violence and gore. And it was just another fantastic fucking movie. Deadstream. Okay, I'm going to make these a little bit faster because I've seen a lot of movies this month. I've been watching horror movies like every day, literally. Deadstream is on Shudder. It's like 88 minutes, and it is awesome. I did a trailer reaction. It's one of my favorite things I've watched this year. Oh, God, that reminds me of something else to review. Jesus. So, basic premise is it's like a semi-canceled on his return to YouTube-esque kind of influencer. It is a found footage movie, but it's like he's prepared with multi-cameras and interesting technology, how he can cut around. So they really sold that idea. And it's a guy who's like always trying to push him things to face his fear. So he goes into a haunted house, claims he's like super religious guy. And, shit gets very crazy. It gets a little Evil Dead-ish. A little. Don't go expecting an Evil Dead. But I mean, it's got that flavor and vibe to it. And it's kind of a small movie, but it is an excellent movie. Pacing is great. Even though this guy isn't the most likable, he's not supposed to be perfectly likable. He is still enjoyable. You do care. And again, the way the camera work and everything does is very cool. Sound design, some of the evil, we'll just leave it like that. Because again, I don't want to, you should really just kind of go in and check it out and enjoy it. So that's Deadstream. Now VHS 99 is also out. You'll see my trailer reaction coming out late, but it's awesome. It may be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, of the VHS series outside of the first one. I think the people that made Deadstream have a short in here because there's one very similar with the same people, but literally they go to hell. and it is fantastic. It really is. It's probably one of my favorite shorts in there. But a lot of the other shorts in there are really good. This is also on Shudder. So if you have Shudder, it's a good time to be watching a lot of this stuff. And, if you like the other VHS movies, you're going to like this one, I think. Now, people have different rankings. Some people thought 94 was better. I think this one's a little better. I like the pacing all the way through. Every short in this, I never got bored, never got dull. I do miss a little bit of the first couple of VHSs, the first 2 or 3, where there was kind of a wraparound story happening between segments. They don't really do that here. They do kind of a version of that, but I do miss that in the VHS franchise. But I don't know. I think they just kind of gave up, we aren't doing Mysterious Cursed Tape here. This is really just short anthology shorts and great directors and up-and-coming directors getting to do really cool stuff. And if you like the VHSs at all, or even if you didn't, maybe you should give it a shot, because I really liked this one, particularly that last short. And so that's VHS 99. Lloyd Kaufman's Shakespeare's Shitstorm. I have been wanting to see this movie forever. The way Lloyd does his movies, he tours them through theaters for a few years. So it's technically still in its theatrical release. It's like his 11th, 12th, 15th film. I've lost track. Poultrygeist was an all-time favorite. The Return to Nukem Highs were amazing. And full disclosure, Return to Nukem Highs, both parts, and Shakespeare's Shitstorm are produced by and starring some actually really good friends of mine, all the Last Drive-In crew, particularly Justin Martell and John Brennan. And it was amazing. Granted, I got to drink a bottle of wine, see this movie in a theater with Lloyd, and it ain't a movie for everybody, and I never thought Poultrygeist could be topped. This has topped it. Shakespeare's Shitstorm is my second favorite movie I got to see this year. Appropriate, it's at number 2. I was dying laughing from start to finish. I loved seeing people in there I know and getting to cheer for them. It had a very unexpected story. It had a great soundtrack. Lloyd plays 2 roles, and one of him is in the movie almost the entire time, and Debbie Rochon, my old pal, she is also his co-star in all those scenes with him. So I was very pleasantly surprised with how much amazing Debbie Rochon I got, and Lloyd, and their chemistry, as always, is fantastic. I'm going to spoil a little bit because there's so much in this movie that I got to tell you some of the jokes. Probably one of my favorite moments is early in the film. There is literally a whale shit NATO. I'm just going to leave it at that. You don't even need to know anymore. There's plenty of bodily fluids of all types and colors. There's plenty of people and characters of all walks of life. It is very Shakespearean. It is a cool story. Lloyd in both roles is amazing. And I just wish I owned it. And Mary's home. So I'm going to go say hey and get the fries going. White Charles. Wait. No, we're here to review Black Adam.
I'm married to him.
Yeah, did you hear even Napoleon was like, really? I know, that's my wife. All right, so no spoilers, just general thoughts. I will give you the setup. I went into this, by the time I got, no, go ahead. By the time I got, she's rubbing my back. By the time I got to see this movie, I was almost dreading it. The original trailers always looked okay, but they never wowed me. Everything about it read middle of the road, DC movie, same old, but now with The Rock, and then all the stuff him talking about, he's changing the DC landscape, blah, blah, most powerful. It all just was and then I saw the trailers so much because it was such a heavily featured trailer at the theaters that, as Mary can attest, by the time we went in, I'm like, it'll probably be okay, but let's just go get it over with. And then I really enjoyed it. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but I would put it on the level of a Shazam or an Aquaman, some of the more fun DC films.
It's a Shazam with a higher body count.
Pretty much, which makes sense because it is Black Adam, and all that, and it does tie into that vaguely. Again, it does stand alone, and there are some things I'm impressed that they were able to do in terms of actually making it kind of badass and kind of dark and maintaining that PG-13. And then things I'd be worried about, how many characters are we introducing and we're supposed to understand, especially the more the broader audiences that don't know any of the stuff. But I thought they did a pretty damn good job balancing all those characters and giving almost everybody a reason to be there.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not always necessary to know every single thing about every single character.
Right.
In the first movie, it's going to be like, hi, I do a thing, and this is how we're going to use my thing.
Yeah, and they did the right balance of that. You didn't need some of their backstories. They just needed to show up and be like, okay, this is what they do, and this is what they're here for.
Yeah.
Whereas I've heard, and this is just another movie, and I'm not going to give spoilers, but some other people are complaining about like, well, how did they do that thing? How long did that take? And I'm like, it's the first movie in a horror franchise. It wasn't important to the plot. Shut up. If they make a sequel, they'll start explaining it.
And I think the only new character, possibly the two characters that could really need to explain was Dr. Fate and Hawkman.
Yeah, although I do think they were well explained in the movie. You knew enough about what they were, who they were, what they're doing. So, you know, I mean,
well, the thing
glad
is,
we saw it in IMAX. It's pretty cool.
I think, though, having knowledge of actually Hawkman, because he's sort of the point on the team.
Yeah, he seems to kind of be the leader of the team, if you will. And it's all in trailers. We're not spoiling anything that's not in trailers.
But he you know, talks about some of the stuff that he has, and it's going like, I know about this because I know about the comics.
Yeah,
or the animated series, even.
I really only have like some vague CW knowledge, which doesn't seem to be anything like this Hawkman. But I don't feel like I missed anything.
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow Hawkman was not good.
Yeah, no, especially not compared to this one. This dude was dope. Like, I'd watch a movie about this dude and then learn his backstory. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, even as somebody who's not super familiar with the comic version, I was totally cool with it. Like, I followed what was going on and who he was and all of that.
Yeah.
And the effects were pretty good. I mean, it is kind of another monotone DC film. It's not super colorful or anything. But, and again, Dwayne Johnson was really good. It has been a minute since we've seen him be more of a, not quite evil badass, not quite the bad guy per se, but, you know, somebody who doesn't necessarily have the traditional morals.
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah, that's accurate. Sorry, I've seen so many movies this month. I'm blending things together and my brain takes me a minute. But, and again, effects and stuff were good. Soundtrack was mostly good. There is a regrettable song choice by the time they put a certain artist on the soundtrack. And then I heard that song after, which normally doesn't bother me, but some things that person has said, and they're finally dealing with a lot of fallout. It did take me out of the movie because I recognized that song. It's like, and it made me think about something in the real world. But
that went right.
But you didn't know the song, so it didn't connect with you. But but that's not really the filmmaker's fault. That's just bad timing.
Yeah.
There is an awesome mid credit scene. Was there a post or was it mid? It was mid.
Mid. There was no post.
And there was no post. And I think by now the cat's out of the bag on that. We're not going to spoil it, but even the star has actually posted on the socials like, I wanted to wait till the weekend was over not to spoil it. So, but pretty excited about that, especially coupled with the new news of James Gunn being the co-CEO of what they will now be branding the DC Universe, I think. So they are going to right the ship and get a cohesive DC Universe going while still letting the offshoots happen, because there's no way they're canceling any of Matt Reeves' Batman projects, because those are all beloved by enough people to keep those going. But I have a feeling James Gunn's the kind of guy that will respect some of these characters. Well, not that they've been disrespected. I'm not trying to crap on the things that came before, because they were respected, but they were respected in a less general way. Like because there's so many iterations of some of these characters. They've been around so long that, I don't know, to focus on some of these darker versions out the gate maybe didn't sit as well with a lot of people.
Well, I think they were trying to catch up to Marvel but try to be not Marvel. Right,
which was, I understand
why you got the Justice League before the standalone movies, as opposed to all the standalone movies, and then Avengers.
I know what you're saying, but I understand why they would want to be like, well, we don't want to just copy the Marvel formula, but it's not that you weren't not. It's not only did you not copy the Marvel formula in that, you didn't copy the comic book formula in that. So it's like, it's not the Marvel formula that you do these standalone character movies and then say, oh, now they can team up. That's the comic book formula. So that's where DC screwed up day one. They're like, oh, that's the Marvel formula, we can't follow it. It's like, no, that's the comic book formula, and you should have followed that. I'm not saying it had to be as bright or colorful or the same kind of comedy or anything. I'm just saying, you should have had your standalones. We should have got a standalone Batman and the Superman before we had Superman. You don't introduce Batman in Batman versus Superman.
I think
I still like those movies. Don't get me wrong.
I think the reasoning there was going like, everybody knows who Because Batman is.
There is that, but you also have to think of, like, it's a weird balance, you know? Like, I mean, are you just playing to what audiences of the day? Are you playing to something where you want to make a movie that can stand the test of time, or a series that can stand the test of time? Because even 100 years from now, people can sit down and start watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe from the start, and it's still going to work and make sense to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Whereas you start watching the DC from the start right now, it's like, wait, what? This happened, this counts, this doesn't count, this is It's not... They need a way to clear. I don't know. Anyways, I'm excited what's coming, but
I feel like
I'm really digressing too.
Well, again, Batman. They're going like people do not want to see the fucking pearls fall on the ground one more time.
Well, you didn't have to do that, even though he did, if you recall. Yeah. Although he did have the best Martha and what's his dad, Thomas Wayne casting of all of them, which hopefully they'll still do something with.
Yeah. And then, like, Spider-Man, we didn't really, with the Tom Holland, we really didn't get the Uncle Ben dying. It was like...
Careful how you phrase what you're going to say, because it's a different movie. We don't want to spoil it if people haven't seen it.
Well, no, it's just that he's like, he's just not even there.
Well, yes and no. See, like, with the Spider-Man thing, they ended up, and this is not spoilery, but they ended up still kind of giving us that. They just gave it, they told the story differently. Not the story itself. The story was the same, but the way they told that story, they told differently. They didn't show it up front. They just let it a background thing for a few movies, and then it kind of came up in a more appropriate emotional moment. Yeah. You could do that with Batman, and you don't even need to do that with Batman necessarily. But anyways, I'm digressing because we're talking about Black Adam, which I wouldn't mind watching again. It's reasonably decent. It is one of the better ones.
Yeah. We didn't spot we have a local guy who was supposed to be in the movie. I think some of the military types. We did not spot him, but I think in the military types tend to have a lot of crap on their face.
Yeah, Arlo?
I think it's Arlo.
He's a buddy of Casey's. You remember just talking about Casey Miracle? You know Casey Miracle. You've been on my channel. Hello, Super Kitty.
Hi.
Oh, she's purring.
She is purring.
Tickles. Tickles. Oh. No, now she's just trying to eat my phone. Don't eat the camera phone. All right, that's good enough. That's our thoughts on Black Adam. We are in Scarefest. We got to pick up our tickets. Mary gets to come all weekend. Dad may take my tickets and come Saturday, since I will be going to Pennsylvania in the morning. It's about to get busy. And so are we. No, there's no time for that. All right, I didn't have a chance to pick up our tickets in advance, so that's what we're waiting to do.
Can't get booze over there.
Is it boozy?
They have bourbon lemonade and vodka lemonade.
I pre-gamed a little. I had time. Oh yeah. You just missed magic being made from his pee-pee. I'm about to spend so much money. And Felicia's off that way. Dave's on a pee break. Fine. You're fine. It's chaos, as it should be in a trauma booth. I know Linnea's down there somewhere.
Yeah. Don't disturb me while I'm drinking with Eric.
You know what? You should disturb, drink, get crazy, have fun.
And also, remember, safety first was doing this, because she would know, mangle dick. She taught me I could mangle myself.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
Take a picture? You don't know. I love it.
Sweet. All right, so this past weekend we did Scarefest.
Some of us more than others.
So I go to Scarefest every year. This was its 14th year. It's like down the street from our house, like 5 minutes away.
All right.
Well, now she puts her. I was going to reframe for you. First year or two, I was a guest because of Zeppo. And then, of course, and they needed guests. So as it grew, I'm less important. I'm not complaining. I totally understand it.
Yeah, Jerry didn't have a table this year.
Well, the prices went up over the years, so it's like, it hasn't been worth it for us. And that's not a knock on them. They've just gotten way more successful, and we haven't. So, yeah. But we love the Scarefest here in Lexington, and it's just been getting crazy. Last year, we got to do all kinds of celebrity photo ops and fun stuff, like Felissa Rose and Kane Hodder as Jason in costume, things like that. This year, we did not able to get the VIP, which bummed me out initially. Because I'm going to get to it. Let me tell the story. Because one of the nice things, And we got to meet Bruce Campbell last year because one
yeah.
of the nice things that you get in the VIP is what's called a line skip. You get a couple of line skips. So we were able to skip the line for Bruce Campbell and just meet him.
Yeah, that was long.
So, and Robert Englund was like the major headliner this year, and I would have loved to have met Robert Englund, and I would use a line skip to do it. And she's right. It was like so long, it's weaving into the back halls of the convention center with Bruce Campbell. But it did pay off, and we'll talk more about my adventure, that we did not get the VIP because it was like half as much just to get the regular weekend pass, and I only got to go for Friday. So, and then also too, I was going to go down like right when it started Friday. Normally I pick up the tickets Thursday, but I didn't have time because of other things I was preparing for. So I was going to have to pick up the tickets Friday, and I thought I'd go down there like 3:30, 3:45 because it would open at 4 for me. And then I was getting behind the time, but I thought, well, if I go down right then, everybody else is going to be going down right then too. So I gave it a little bit of time. Before I knew it, I'm like, I might as well wait on Mary to get home from work and just go down with her. But we picked up our tickets real easy. But I only had about 2.5 hours for the entirety of Scarefest for myself. So she was kind enough to understand that it's like, this is the only day I get. So she went at my speed and let me zip through everything and spend, just to kind of see what's there, what I want to spend money on. Which I didn't spend a crap ton, but so the first part of this talk will be mostly me. Yeah, okay. So we get there, we go around. I find a bootleg movie table, which I haven't seen in forever, and I still feel weird and iffy about some of that stuff sometimes. However, I do feel like certain titles, if they haven't been available for years and years, and then like it's the only way to get them or whatever, I will on rare occasion buy a bootleg. But I know I would buy the real deal and really give the real people the money if they ever release it. So there's a lot of stuff I didn't do because like they had Peter Jackson's uncut Brain Dead or Dead Alive. But it was like on DVD. And I'm like, I know he's doing the 4K restoration. I can wait. I really want to see that. I've never seen that uncut version, but I can wait. But I did end up going back at the end of the day because they had this despecialized Star Wars trilogy on Blu-ray. So I finally own the despecialized Star Wars trilogy. We saw some of my friends like Joel Robinson. It was wonderful to see my old buddy Jason Crow and Ronnie Jonah. I haven't seen them in ages, and it was great just to see him. I wish I'd gotten more time to hang out with him. Of course, Mike was there and Deb was there, but I got to see them briefly. I'm like, sorry, y'all, I only get like 2 hours. I see y'all all the time. I gotta zippity zip zap. And so then I spent most of my time in one section of Celebrity Row because when we first went up, Lloyd Kaufman was there, but he was about to go on lunch or dinner or something. So as we go up, it's like a lady, the handler lady who was very nice, was apologizing. He's like, who's gonna go? It's like, I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm just waiting for everybody to clear out so I can actually get in there and see the merchandise. And so then we kind of went and hung out with, Mary's preparing to show you a bunch of stuff. We went and hung out with Dave Sheridan a little bit. We almost hung out with Felissa Rose, but it was a little busy at the moment. So Dave Sheridan, Doofy from a Scary Movie, and also a Mutant Fam. Careful over there, there's a little bit of oiliness. Yeah, where I gotta clean up the fryer. So it was very cool. Got to talk to him about music. Told him we wanted to do the thing where I always do the Cheers countdown for the Joe Bob shows. He's like, oh yeah, come back at 8 or whatever, and we'll do that. We'll get Felissa in it, blah, blah, blah. So he actually went and changed back into costume. He says because I said I was going to do that. I don't know. And then we did get back, and I had my phone with the countdown going, and I had a booze, and he grabbed a drink, and unfortunately Felissa only had water at the ready, or she would have had a drink too. But we all did my typical Cheers pose with my little phone and the Joe Bob countdown, so that was amazing. And we got to meet Lloyd, and he absolutely remembers me, and he loves Zeppo, and we got to talk about that. And then Joe Bob kind of came on, and the con floor closed at 9. Mary wants to show you stuff. That's why she hasn't come back on camera yet. But I'm almost through my day. So at 9, we went over to Lex Live. It's across the street, giant entertainment complex, restaurant, movie theater, like 2-story movie theater. Not my favorite movie theater, but it's pretty good. It's really quality, not only reclining seats, but the headrest will actually move up with its own button. They have heated seats. They have like built-in swinging tables, and you can buy booze and you can take it in. I'll get to that. So we were having a delightful dinner, just drinking away. Mary's going to have dinner and drink, and my dad was going to come get her and take her home.
App and a drink, but yeah.
Yeah, app and a drink, and then I was going to have dinner. Ordered dinner, and then Mary was kind enough to go look around and be like, well, let me go find out where the screening is.
And if it's like, do you know where you're supposed to be? He's like, no.
Yeah, and if there's a line for it and all of that. And I was like, okay, thank you. And she's gone a little while, and I'm like, it seems to be taking a little while. And finally comes back. Can you show them that so you can actually be part of the story instead of just standing off camera? So
Hi.
Did you get those there? Because I think that's the first time I've seen them.
Yeah.
I have been very busy. It's
that's
very
right. I may have
cute.
put them away before you got home.
Yeah, I do not remember seeing them. Very cute. So anyways, Mary, what did you do while you went to find the line?
Well, I went upstairs to begin with because I keep forgetting that there's theaters on the first floor as well.
But she went upstairs to the second floor theaters.
And lo and behold, there is Lloyd and his handler and his assistant.
Well, it was the handler lady who was, I think, is friends with the filmmaker. I should have mentioned Antonio. He made One Must Fall, which we bonded over because it stars Julie Strebel, who starred in my Project Greenlight short film that made me fall in love with theater actors and go meet her. So that's just a fun part of the story. So he and I bonded like motherfucking crazy. So that's where Lloyd was hanging out. It's just the three of them.
So yeah, I saw him. I was like, interesting. Zipped along the theater to see if I could see where the showing was supposed to be. Didn't see anything, and so I approached the handler and went, "Hi, so where's the screening tonight?" And she's like, "We don't know." It's like, well, that's not good. She's like, yeah. Because it was already like 10 something, I think, at that time.
Probably, yeah. And it's dead upstairs. Like nothing was going on the second floor except a couple of movie screenings. Somebody was out there.
Yeah. So I was going like, well, let me go talk to the front desk. And then Lloyd actually gave me his number so I could text him the info. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I still have it, but that's pretty cool that she got Lloyd's number. Although it's not as hard for ladies to get it.
But so I went down to the front desk, and the guy's like, oh, yeah, it's going to be over down here in Theater 1. It's like, oh, yeah, those are over there. I forgot. So I went back upstairs, let them know, and they're like, oh, thank you. And the handler actually remembered my name from the con earlier in the day.
They're very good with names. People like that, man. I wish I was so better.
Yeah, so do I.
Like, I'll remember who you are if I meet you. I'll remember your face and stuff, but God help me if I can remember your name.
But so I went down and told Eric, it's just like, Lloyd's hanging out upstairs.
With like nobody.
Nobody. And Eric's like, check please.
Yeah, I was like literally like, well, fuck, I'm not going to sit here. Oh, because I literally had like the neck stand and I turned it into a table stand with my phone and like my noise canceling headphones, which thank God I brought those for trying to hear anything in Lex Live. To watch as much of Joe Bob's Halloween special as I could. Because nothing takes precedent over Joe Bob. Well, I mean, she would, but she's always aware of what's going on, so she's never done anything to take me away from it. But I mean, she's gone to friends' birthdays without me that I'm also friends with because I'm like, no, Joe Bob's on tonight. I'm sorry. This is the first time I missed a Joe Bob thing intentionally since I've been watching it live. But it was for Lloyd. It was to see Shakespeare Shitstorm with a Q&A, on a big screen. So yeah, and I've been dying to see that movie for 2 or 3 years. You'll see my review here later in the vlog, or you already saw it, I guess.
Yeah. No.
But so also before we got checked, I realized, because I knew you could buy drinks and take them into the theater, and I saw they sold wine by the bottle, so I was like, wait, I asked the waiter, I was like, can I buy a bottle and take it into the movies? He's like, yeah, you can buy a bottle, we give you 2-3 glasses, whatever you need. And I was like, well, before you cash that check, but let's throw a bottle of Malbec on there, and I just need 1 glass. So then thanks to Mary, we got out of there. We went up there, kind of hung out a few minutes, and then kind of embarged our way into the conversation. But of course, at the same time, I was telling him, like, I'm not trying to jump in and take over the conversation. I just would like to hear Lloyd talk. So, and then, of course, became part of the conversation because Lloyd started talking to us and to Mary and found out we were married and gave you a gift. A Shakespeare Shitstorm patch. You got the Poltergeist magnet earlier.
No. I got the patch at the con, and then he gave me the magnet.
That's right. And then he was just asking about the wedding or the marriage and stuff. And I showed him, like,
so I got him settled in. I was like, okay, I'm going home now.
Yeah. And then I hung out with Anthony. What did I say? It's not Anthony. What did I just say his name was? I had it right.
Oh, crap baskets.
No, that's not his name. Let's see. Profile.
It's an unusual name, if I remember.
Antonio. I didn't find it. I just remember it was Antonio.
Oh, Tony.
But yeah, so, hanging out with him and Lloyd and all them, and then of course the Tromettes and everybody, and then we finally went downstairs and kind of waiting for our screening to start. Well, the Nightmare on Elm Street 4 screening went long, and Lloyd was pretty impressed that I knew that movie within a heartbeat. I know my Freddy movies.
Yeah.
And then Lloyd also finding out what I had to do the next day, kept being like, you should go home and sleep. I will send you Shakespeare's Shitstorm. But I was like, no, I need to see it on a big screen. And boy, am I glad I did. So they did their Q&A. We got happy, drunken Uncle Lloyd. That's all I'll say there. He introduced the movie, had some good questions. There's maybe a dozen people in the theater, but one of the Tromettes, I think she's from Louisville, and I found out she makes like silent black and white horror movies. Like, I need to know more. She ended up sitting a few seats away from me, and she was going to watch the movie, and they were kind of surprised she was going to stay and watch the movie. And thank God she did, because I enjoyed the fuck out of the movie. I would have had a blast with that movie, but she was the only other person in that theater having an equally great time. Everybody else was giggling and laughing or whatever, but she was like a trauma, and like she knew her shit, and she got all the little references. It was one of those like we were laughing and cheering and recognizing people. Like we clicked and got it more than anybody else. And at the end, we both actually kind of thanked each other. Like, I'm so glad you were here because your enjoyment helped me enjoy it even more. You know, we were just kind of bouncing off each other without even knowing it at the time. And then I stayed. I drank the whole bottle of wine, watched the entire movie till the last fucking credit. John Brennan is the shitmaster. It's not a character. That is literally a production credit. I didn't tell you what I told them in the review, but I remember to tell you one of the first massive mind-blowing freakouts I had of greatness. Because I don't want to say it here in case they skipped the review, and I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, so I got to do all that, and it was great. And then I went home, and then I'll tell you more of that story later after she goes to bed because we're on limited time. So Mary, then I went to bed and I was not home Saturday or to the very end of Sunday. So Mary went back Saturday with my dad, and I'm going to get some wine while she starts telling you the story.
So yeah, we ended up going down at 4. I would have gone earlier, but it was a beautiful day. It's like, I got to get these crocuses planted. So Mom came over to help me with that, and 4 o'clock gave us about 4 hours to check out the floor.
In a less rushed
time. Well, as soon as we got there, Eric's dad basically peeled off, said, call me when you're ready to leave, I'll come get you.
Which, the night before when we figured out we were doing that, she's like, well, I know you're rushing now, but just remind your dad that I'm going to want to stop and look at stuff. And I laughed and said, oh, sweetie, he's just going to take you there. He's going to walk around the floor for about 10 minutes, and then he's going to head home. He's not hanging out with you. Yeah. She's like, oh.
Yeah,
which is exactly what...
He got to talk to Lloyd, though.
Yeah, he did take him more than 10 minutes. He told me too many people... But hey, I got to see Lloyd and Jerry and some other stuff. So,
meanwhile, I got around to do my actually look at things and go like, that's cool, that's neat, that's overpriced, and I helped Deb and Mike out a little bit, just booth watching while they took breaks. And
VNC Toys, baby.
Yeah.
V letters VNC.
Vintage, new, and collectible.
Toys.com, I think.
Yes, I believe that is.
Anyways, sorry.
So and since they were kind of stuck in the booth all day, neither one of them could really get out and look around. I got them little prezzies. I gave Deb my plush Banshee that I got from Disney,
which I think we've shown you, hopefully, or else now you'll never see it. We never really did a full proper merch haul.
No, we didn't.
That was late in the game too, so I don't know.
But it was just tiny cute, and it had a little magnet thing that you stick on your shirt for it to
not the big mechanical.
No. I'm keeping my mechanical.
Yeah, this was a different one. Just to clarify. Let's move you into the front just a little. No, let's split the difference right there. Perfect.
And so I got them, since they both play D&D, I got them these little 3D printed chairs, or tiny chairs, are only about yay big. That say time out. They're for when your dice are being bad.
Oh, that's cute.
And they also got like little dunce caps that would fit on top of your D20. And they were like really cheap, so I got them each a set. I figured they'd find it cute. And then I did some shopping for myself. I got Mom something, and I'm not going to show it because I wouldn't be surprised if Mom decides to watch a vlog for some random reason.
Maybe like a random time she watches.
Yeah. Her birthday is coming up next week. So.
Same day as my dad's.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's mom. It's fucking weird, dude.
But I did buy a couple of things for myself. I got my little horns here. Gotta go the right way. And then I got this little guy. He's an octobat.
Yeah, I think that's very cool, actually.
Yeah, like, see if I can, like, the depth on the eyeball is just fantastic. And then he's got like this like little steampunky type thing going on. Yeah. But I thought that was really cool. And then there's this one shop, and I wish I could remember what the name of it is, but they've been there for years at the various cons. And I've always wanted to get something, and it's all leather work. A lot of it's bags or books or boxes or whatever that have eyes put in them, sometimes whole faces, but a lot of times it's just eye or even an eye. And it's like, oh, they look so cool. They're so expensive. But I finally broke down and got one.
This was pretty dope.
It's a tissue holder.
Yeah.
And where I have it placed is basically Eric gets to stare at it every time he uses the bathroom.
If I go pee in the guest room, it's literally like eyeball and eyeball, right?
Yeah, the guest bathroom, yeah.
Which, you know, is the easiest bathroom if I'm in the kitchen or whatever. So.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of adorable, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did not need to go up there and eat a French fry.
it was a little pricey, but, you know, it'll last a good long time.
So was that your Saturday? Was that pretty much?
That was pretty much my Saturday. I dropped off Zeppo DVDs.
To Lloyd. Yeah,
Lloyd.
Found out that they were desperate for Debbie Rochon merch, and if I had known, if you had told me at the time, I would have coordinated with Dad. Be like, okay, I need you to go to the house, grab this box, take 20 or 30 out for me to keep, give that box to Mary, let her, you know, go down, drop it off, Mary will take it to Lloyd, let him sell it. He's also talking about putting it on Troma now, but I think that's really just hyperbole.
It looks like hyperbole. It's pronounced hyperbole.
Because it has to go through an assistant and stuff. And I'm like, I feel like we did that, but not when Troma Now. So maybe Troma Now is a different story. So we got to try and do that. Because like I would tell them, I don't want to, nobody in this movie wants a damn penny from it. So if y'all just want to put it up there, we'll sign whatever contracts or whatever, send you the files. Like we would just like it to be associated with Troma. So I do need to look into that.
Yeah.
But, and then Dad was like, yeah, you could have also taken all those Lloyd Kaufman and Debbie Rochon t-shirts for him to sell. I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, he could have sold the shit out of some of those Debbie Rochon shirts.
Oopsie.
Yeah, well, it comes back, we'll know. And I only was able to get one t-shirt from Lloyd because they had 3 t-shirts I really wanted, but only was the Shakespeare Shitstorm t-shirt in my size, which if I was only going to get one, though, that was the one. Because that should come into another part of the story.
I just like having the eyes. Just the eyes.
And then you didn't go back Sunday, right?
No.
Okay.
I was, again, Sunday was another beautiful day, and it's like, I gotta do some shit.
Felissa Rose finally followed me on Instagram because they were appreciating the hot dogs. And she's already liked a few photos here and there. So I was like, yay. Because I was like, I know you like me. Like, what the fuck? Why have you followed me yet? No, I didn't say that to her in case that's what that sounded like. I was just in the back of my mind. It's like, I've met Felissa many times. She and Dave very much know who we are because they clearly remember. And, you know, I was like, okay, what does it take to get a fucking follow in the back of my mind? It's just easier to interact when you're following each other and it's not a one-way follow situation is the only reason it really concerns me at all.
Okay, so I think that's the weekend unless you're going to talk about your thing later.
I'm going to do that separately. Yeah, I was just trying to think if there's anything else that relates here in this story. We got some fun video footage that maybe we'll put in here if I haven't put it in anywhere of Dave playing as Doofy. He's excited. I'm going to create a hot dog for him as well.
For him or for Doofy?
Well, it's for him and it's like, it's both. He may get a few. It's Dave. Dave's fucking awesome. Check him out. He's a good dude. He's really fun.
What's Dave's last name again?
Sheridan.
Okay.
And you pretty much always find him and Felissa together and they're very cute.
Yeah.
Wait, don't... It's not our place.
I'm not going to say anything.
I was just worried. Like, listen, we have thoughts or speculations, not judgments of any kind on the. You know, is there something more there than friendship? But you know, I was just worried she was going to get all into it. It's like we wouldn't talk about that. And now I've talked about it more than. Whatever they are, they're awesome, and I love them.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, and I learned. Do you remember my jamboree? Should I tell this story? I think I can tell this story.
Which story?
Yeah, because they're probably never going to see this. And if they are, I don't think they'd be mad. So you remember my Joe Bob Jamboree from Memphis? And remember you see a little bit of Dave as Doofy, the pants half around his ankles on stage singing Twist and Shout while Felissa's up there dancing and trying to rip his pants off yelling, show me that dick! Because she's the mangled dick expert. I found out that Dave had been trying to work up a fart for the microphone, and then he got one, but right before he could let it go, that's when she came over to start ripping the pants off, and all of a sudden he had to suck it back in, like, oh God, no, she will kill me if I fart in her face. So that was just a real fun story. Other stories I learned, I can't tell, you can't share. They were definitely meant to be, you know, private short stories and stuff. Especially some of the stories I got to learn from the other end of things when we get to my other story. We'll talk about that later. But no secrets spilled, just all the fun stuff. But yeah, so it's great. You know, I mean, listen, I would have liked to have met Lance Hendrickson. I would have liked to have seen Bill Moseley and Michael Berryman again. Dee Wallace was out there. I got Lloyd. That's a story to tell. I am so excited about getting my picture taken with Lloyd. I was wanting him to sign my Joe Bob soundtrack album cover. And I had totally forgotten. As we're leaving, Mary mentioned it to me, like as we're at the edge of the booth, like, oh wait, didn't you want him to sign that thing? And I was like, oh yeah, well, you know what? Because he was already super busy. So it's like, it's fine. I'll just get it some other time. But the handler lady, and I'm sorry I can't remember her name. She's very nice. I
want to say it's Heather.
I don't know. But anyways, she overheard that. So again, thank you, Mary. She overheard that. She's like, wait, are you sure? Like, we can get him to sign it. Like, I'll cut you in line after this guy so you can get that signature. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, because I really do want him to sign this.
Yeah.
So
She
he
is
signed
a
it for
tiny
Toxie.
little ball of energy.
Yeah, she seemed pretty cool, too. I think she might work with Antonio. I was piecing some things together now. So, but yeah, so that was cool. A lot of people I like to meet, but honestly, I hated to meet Joe Bob, but to get to hang with Lloyd, get that Q&A, and get to see the genius that is Shakespeare Shitstorm, absolutely worth it. Because he is also Mutant Family. And then I hated to miss the rest of Scarefest, but boy, was it worth it. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's probably good for the Scarefest talk, because we aren't even going to get to any of the Disney honeymoon wrap-up, because like we still have so much to tell you about that wasn't in any of the footage. But this vlog's already running super long, and I get about 40 more minutes before Mary has to shower and go to bed. So, and then I still have a bunch of vlog stuff to shoot. We'll catch up someday. All right. Anything else? Are you finally done talking?
Yes, I finally done talking. Hi.
Go home.
Go home.
All right, we'll wrap that up. Yeah. Kim knows.
You want to cut?
Next segment. 8:02 a.m. I'm heading out to Laheyton, Pennsylvania. If I don't stop, I'll get there by 5. I gotta stop. Like 3 hours of sleep. Mary was up way later than I anticipated. I don't think we communicated that well. I had a double cheeseburger for breakfast. I think I can get about 30 minutes to an hour out, and then I gotta find coffee, but it's like 8 a.m., so whatever. I just want to get going. I'll get with it in a minute. I've only been awake for like 10 minutes. You're like, how did we get here? Things are happening. Strange things are afoot. I gotta...
Sorry, again, hearing you sing that just now made me increase my desire to see things by several thousand%.
Oh my goodness, by several thousand%. You're a mad genius. What does that mean?
Yeah, no, that's how it goes.
I'm stoned.
Man, I probably should have filmed a lot more of what I've done this weekend, but I've been having too much of a fun-ass weekend to film any of it. So I just did like 4 hours driving in a car. I got out for gas a minute ago. I didn't take a break. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty much halfway home already. Got out later than I intended, but I'll have to tell you the stories later. Also, I got all the McDonald's buckets, so I don't know why I'm having McDonald's again, but I am. Why are you not locking the car? Whatever, it'll lock. All right, I'm gonna get some food. Okay, I don't know if this comes between cocktails or after or what, or right after the Scarefest talk, but I should tell you about what I did Saturday and Sunday. So, long story short, if I touch my screen, it'll screw my focus. I got a speck of dust on there messing with me. Excuse me. All right, so the Sunday, before this past Sunday, I was at dinner, and a few days before that, they had announced at the Mahoning Drive-In, they were doing what they're calling Beyond the Last Drive-In, and it's essentially the entire crew, theoretically, that makes The Last Drive-In, except for Joe Bob and Darcy. And they were going to show 2 Joe Bob episodes, Spookies and Things, 2 of the weirdest movies they've ever had that I fucking adore. So I tweeted about my dilemma of realizing Joe Bob's special was on Friday night, but Lloyd was doing Shakespeare Shitstorm Friday night. And I was like, holy crap, I realized I have a dilemma. Mutant fam, help me out. And I tagged people like John Brennan, like, what should I do? And of course, everybody was like, you know, go see Shakespeare, Shitstorm, because it's more, you can always watch Joe Bob later, blah, blah, blah. To which I'm like, well, yeah, but I can't do the live tweet, which is part of it. I love being part of that live tweet Mutant Fam thing, but it's fine. Obviously, I made my choice. But that Sunday at dinner that I tweeted it, one of the things John Brennan said is like, oh, I don't know that I can help you, because John produced Shakespeare Shitstorm too. So I was like, I don't know if I can help you. But I know what you could do on Saturday. You could come out to the Mahoning. He like tweeted the thing. He's just doing his promotional thing. I know he's doing that. He's being, he's being a good promoter. What's the word? Not a huckster, but a showman, a ringleader. Yeah. Well, no, carnival barker. That's what it is. Yeah. Which I'm familiar with being as well. Well, not really, but promotion wise. So I really appreciated that, but it got me thinking, and then I was jokingly drunken at dinner like, oh man, if only, Mary, I told you should let me have my pilot's license. There's an airport right near there. Anyways, I started thinking about it for a bit. I was like, maybe I should go up there. And then Justin Martell started messaging me like, are you coming to this? Because we'd love to see you there. And he's my buddy. Like, him and John wanted to come to my wedding with Amy and Liz, but they were shooting the Halloween special that weekend. Or season 5 or something. I know they were shooting that weekend for sure. I've heard things. So I just was figuring it out. It's like I couldn't get a hotel room at the Jim Thorpe Hilton, which is like one of the only good hotels in Laheyton, Pennsylvania. Laheyton is like a tiny, tiny, tiny town because it was all booked up already. And then I was like, oh, I could not convince Mary. It's like a 9-hour drive. So if you add stops, you're looking at 10 and a half hours. And of course, there's going to be stops. You got to pee, get gas at least that long, get some food. I guess you could pee in a bottle and stuff, but I'm not going that far. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I'm not going that far. So I was back and forth. And I'm like, I've already got my Scarefest tickets, blah, blah. But I swear to you, every time I decided to do it, and then I would talk myself out of it. And then like either Justin would reach out and be like, no, you should really come. Or like randomly Austin, why am I totally blanking on his last name now? I know it. I want to say Edwards. That's not right. The director of The Last Drive-In friended me on Facebook. I mean, I kind of lightly knew him from the Jamborees and stuff and follow him on Twitter. It's not Austin Edwards. That's going to bug me. Hold on, I got to figure that out. Austin Jennings, never mind. I knew it would come to me. I'm just... It's all the drinking. So little things kept happening, or John would make a joke, or Yuki would follow me because Yuki's getting into social media because of Yuki and John's Patreon buffet, which you should check out when it launches on Halloween. And I'd signed up for that and everything. And I thought, man, what a cool way to go hang out with my friends that I didn't get to see at the wedding and that I usually only see at the Jamboree in a situation where they're going to be a lot less busy and can actually hang out. And they wanted me there. Like, I even told them, it's like a big part of why I chose to do it. I felt so wanted. Like, I wasn't begged or anything by any means, but they just really made me feel like they wanted me to come be a part of that and hang out with them. Because we all do get along really well. And it's one of those things where I could sit here and be like, well, I mean, are they just being nice? And I know there's some truth to it, but maybe they're just being extra nice. But no, after this weekend, I know for sure they're absolute ride or die fucking trauma people friends, But, so, finally decided to do it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. So, Friday night, I knew I had to see Shakespeare Shitstorm. If I was going to skip some Joe Bob and stuff, I was going to watch Shakespeare Shitstorm. And that's what I was saying. I told Lloyd about it and the drive to go see those guys. And Lloyd just was like, you got to meet my assistant, Garrett. He'll be out there, blah, blah. And it was cute because at one point, Lloyd's like, do you want me to tell Justin and John you're coming? I was like, no, trust me, they know. It's good, Lloyd. I appreciate that, but it's good. They know I'm coming. I know them. And because, like I said, they produced a bunch of his movies. And are ride or die awesome fucking trauma folk. But... So I told Lloyd, I was like, no, I got to do this. So watched the movie till like 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I knew it was going to be rough, but I knew I would have everything packed basically and mostly already in the car. And I was only going to go overnight. And originally I thought I was going to have to sleep because the Mahoning does have campgrounds at the Mahoning. So I would have had an overnight ticket and I was going to sleep in my car. I was like, I'll just sleep in my car a couple hours, get up the next morning and leave. It was going to be cold. It was going to be like low in the 40s or lower, which I was like, eh. So anyways, I did manage to get a hotel the day before. I guess somebody canceled, so I was able to get a hotel at that Jim Thorpe, Laheyton Hilton, which, wow, did that pay off, because I realized, ooh, you know what? I really, really need a hotel room. We'll get to why in a minute. And I was right about it. I predicted it. And I was like, oh, yep, nope, that was, I know what I'm doing. I almost hate to give away my secrets, but no, seriously. So, I'm about to. There was some miscommunication with Mary and I, and like by the time I got home, I thought she would be like 10, 15 minutes before bed, like she'd be ready to feed the kids and go, because I got home at like 2:30 or something. I was like, okay, if I can get in bed at 3, I can get out of here at 7, and then I can get up there by like 5 o'clock. Like VIP could get in at 4, the main stuff could get in at 6, things started around 7. Well, I went to bed about 4:30. I got up about 7:30. Actually, I got 2 hours and 45 minutes of sleep, according to my app. Kind of brushed my teeth, threw the last few things in a bag. Mary, she usually sleeps with the door locked because she sleeps on a ground level and makes her so, but she left it unlocked so I could come and say goodnight or goodbye. Because again, for those of you that know, Mary and I sleep in different rooms because we have vastly different sleep schedules where she has a real government job and I do whatever I want. and temperatures, the whole reason, you know. Plus, trust me, if you can do that in a relationship, fucking do that. The idea that you have to sleep together, like if it feels like you're beholden to do that, is a dumb fucking idea. If you want to do it, that's fine. That's another thing. Like, we sleep together. We'll take naps and stuff together, but trust me, it's hard for either of us to sleep in the same bed because either I have to be half asleep, subconsciously concerned about moving too much to ruffle her feathers, or she, like, we've done it. Like at Disney, we had to sleep in the same bed. At certain vacations, we sleep in the same bed, and it's fine. And Disney wasn't that bad. We actually got to a good place. Anyways, I'm digressing way too much. Got to say goodnight to her. Left the house at 8 a.m. Went to Starbucks, got a giant coffee because I realized, oh, I can't go any further than down the street Starbucks without some coffee at this point. Drove. A few hours in, thought I had to pee. It's one of those things, like, took me 20 miles to find anywhere I could pee. Went to a Hardee's, and then I was like, oh, they actually have a pretty clean bathroom, and my tummy was grumbling. And boy, if you know poultry, guys, let's just say I went in a Joel and I came out of Jared, and it was trauma green. Is that too much? It was also a weird toilet. Like, you know how, like, there's the rim in the bowl where, like, the water comes down to clean everything? It's usually, like, maybe that big a rim. For some reason, it was, like, this big a rim, and it was definitely I don't want to get too gross here, but it was a comical session. And I actually did a little extra, like, big wads of toilet paper cleaning, wiping down, because I felt bad. The other crazy part is the power turned off while I was doing that for a second. And of course, I'm like, oh God, they don't know I'm in here. They didn't see me come in here. Are they going to leave and lock this place up? And I'm going to be stuck in here because I can't get off the toilet right now. Things are happening. Anyways, that all went well. Got some Hardee's fries. They're okay. Not knocking that Hardee's. That Hardee's was actually great. I just don't know that I like that particular seasoning they use. Got back on the road, drove some more, got some food, got some gas, drove some more, got some food, got some gas. Realized, man, I'm going to get there way too fucking later. And by the time I get up to Pennsylvania and Laheyton, like, the fucking sun is going, it's like 6 o'clock and the sun is already going down. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is the sun disappearing? Long story short, get to my hotel, check in. I recognize the ladies from a year and a half ago at the Mahoning. Super easy check in. Run to my room, use the bathroom a little bit more, throw on some thermals and some extra socks because I knew what I was heading out to. And I get over there about 7 o'clock. Movies were supposed to start at 7:30, or they said, you know, the screenings will start at 7:30. John and Yuki are already on the screen. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm missing all this. But that's going to be on Patreon. I'll get to hear it. But then I get up there, and the only bummer is where it was so late, and I wasn't there for the pre-shows. There's a bunch of other Mutant fam out there, and if you're one of the people I'm talking about, I'm sorry I barely got to see you or not see you at all, because I realized it's like sundown. The movies are starting. Everybody's in their cars. They're not going to come like round and meet. So I throw out a picture with me and the Ship to Shore boys, because it was a boys club. I'll get to that. Just to be like, hey, I'm hanging out here, Mutant fam, and like tag those folks, like, you know, I'll be here, the concessions, you know, come see me. So I did get to hang out and meet Jeff Whitmere, I hope I pronounced that right, for a minute. He does all those Mutant parodies, and give him a CD, and he's a cool dude. I wish I got to talk to him more, and I did get to meet a couple others, but, and they're all awesome. Mutant fam for life. Y'all are great. I fucking love you. If you're true Mutant fam, I'm going to love you. But anyways, I get up there. Justin's there. Aaron's there. John Bergio is there from Cuck Island. And, of course, Shakespeare, Shitstorm. And Matt Mahones, I think. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing his last name wrong, probably. The other creator and producer of The Last Drive-In and a lot of Trauma stuff. And somebody who I've met a few times, but we never really had a chance to really interact that much. And so we're all hanging out the Ship to Shore. I find out Amy's not there, which is a bummer. And Liz isn't there. But basically, they decided it should be a boys' trip. So, yet again, the universe is like, hey, not only... if the universe decides or dictates or puts you where it wants you to be, if that's actually a thing, it definitely wanted me there. Because, you know, I didn't get the VIP for Scarefest. Well, that actually turned out to be a positive, because then I didn't waste as much money by not going for 2 days. I couldn't convince Mary to go with me because she had things she needed to do. Turned out to be a positive because this was a boys' trip. Like, nobody's ladies were with them this time. Which made for a really fun, beautifully awkward, could totally be a porno cover picture in a hotel room. I'll get to that. But no, it was great. It was awesome getting to chat with Justin, and that, because Justin, like, I only got to really hang out with him at the first Jamboree, but he was really running the show. They filmed a show there, so I didn't get to hang out with him as much as I wanted, but we could tell, like, we are bros. You know, he runs Ship to Shore. He's one of the people. And so this was great. I got to actually hang out with him low-key when he wasn't super busy. You know, they had me on inside the table, Ship to Shore and all that. Took some cool photos, promotional stuff. He was taking photos of me with the Things VHSs that'll hopefully show up someday. He walks me over to say, like, let's peek in on John and Yuki. They didn't notice me the first time, but the second time, the show had ended, the radio show, and John was, like, backing up footage, and he sees me, and you saw the expression in his face. He's like, oh, shit. He's like, what? Wait. Like, I told you, I jokingly said you should try, like, you know what you should do Saturday, and you actually came? I was like, fuck yeah, John, for you, Justin, fuck yeah. And of course told him, like, y'all just made me feel incredibly wanted to be here. So, and I had to come be here because I wanted to be here, even though I really dreaded the drive, and the drive back tomorrow was going to suck. But, also, again, I've heard this my whole life from my dad, especially, that I can't sit around waiting for opportunities to come to me. I have to go to where the opportunities are. And again, first and foremost, I wanted to go hang out with my friends. But second off, also my friends are typically people that work in the industries I want to work in. And that's one of the things that fascinates me about them. And, it's like a lot of even my local friends are film friends, my whole groom party are film friends. So it's not, so please understand, I don't know how I verbalize this, but please do understand at the deepest of levels. If I say, I also see that maybe there's an opportunity for a conversation that happens that clicks or gets this going, or I get this gig or this possibility comes out of it, that's always a possibility. So it's like, I got to go to where the opportunities are. Worst case scenario, which is all I really wanted, I get to go hang out with some awesome fucking friends I almost never get to see. And then who knows? Like, I learned some things. And if nothing else, I got some major other inspiration. I also got to hear a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of interesting things, a lot of takes on who likes who, what's going on where, things I will not tell you because I'm sworn to secrecy. So that was really cool. And then, so Saturday night, and this is why it was so great that I got a hotel room, because I realized, I was like, oh wait, I know how this is going to go. It's like, what's going to happen is they aren't going to hang out at the drive-in all night. Especially because it's going to get cold. I knew that, and they did get cold. But it's like, they're going to be there for the first show or whatever, the intermission, and they're probably going to be like, let's go somewhere and party, back to the hotel or whatever. So it's like, I learned from Memphis, get in the right hotel, because that's where the party is. Granted, the Jim Thorpe Hilton doesn't really have a great lobby for partying. But I was right. They were all going back. I should tell you my car story real quick, too. All right, so before we get back to the hotel, drive in, turn off your fucking headlights. And I already knew how to turn mine completely off. And I also had learned from experience that if I'm going to open my trunk to get a drink out of the cooler, I need to start the car first, because if the car's not running, it will turn my headlights on. Works 99% of the time. For whatever fucking reason, this time, it was not working, and the headlights are on, and people are yelling at me, and I'm like, I'm like drunk at this point, so I'm like, I've tried, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm like trying to stand in front of my lights, like, I don't know what's happening. Just wanted to get a drink. And then finally I realized I had to turn off the car. And then I realized I'm not going to sit in my car and watch this. I didn't really come here for the screenings. It would have been really cool, but I didn't. So it's like, and it's empty enough parking, and I'm at the back of the row. I'm just going to quietly back out, turn around, and face the other way so my headlights don't go over the screen. I did that. That worked. And then I found the one gigantic puddle in all of the Mahoning and stepped my canvas-ass shoe down into it. Didn't bring other shoes. I brought other socks, but didn't bring other shoes. But it's fine. It was all part of the experience. It got some Mahoning mud in my car like it should. But then, yeah, that's right. They're like, yeah, we're after the intermission, we're probably going to head back to the, like, they're trying to find a bar. Most of the bars closed super early. So it's like, yeah, we're just going to go back to the hotel. We're going to get a bunch of booze. And it's like, cool, because I got a bunch of booze. We can go back. We're all in the same hotel. They're a few doors down from my room. I think we were pretty much all on the same floor. So I get to go hang out, like, and have basically what at times felt like my own private trauma Q&A session. But also they were hearing some of my stories too. We're just all hanging out. And it's like Matt and Justin and Aaron from Ship to Shore. And, eventually John Bergio and then John Brennan show up, and we're all kind of hanging out. And there's this one other dude, and he's really, really cool. And I feel so shitty because I keep blanking on his name because he had an unusual name. It started with an E. And I keep wanting to say other words that aren't it, but he was really fucking dope too. You'll see him in my photo. And I suck with names. And all these people are so fucking good with names. Like, I'm almost convinced that's the secret to success, is just be good with names. Remembering people. Like, I remember people, I just can't remember their names. But anyways, it's a great time. Some eye-opening things, some fascinating things, and then some, I kind of had a feeling things, so, and lots of comedy, lots of hugeness. And then there's where that hotel photo came from. Then, and I met the director of Spookies. He's lovely dude. I got to talk to Yuki. Yuki was curious. He found out about all my YouTube success and was in Patreon. So him and John were asking me Patreon questions. But I'm like, y'all are already way more successful than I've ever been on Patreon. But of course, they have a bigger following. And still, that was really cool. And, I got to explain Yuki, the Yuki dog, as described by John Brennan, and show him in that. And it was so cute. He's like, that will kill you. You can't eat that. And then I showed him the John Brennan, the big meat. He's like, that will also kill you. Like, it was so
fucking cool. And, you know, and then John is just the awesome fucking John. And I'm leaving parts of the story out that's like, I'm dying to like tell you, but I can't tell you. It's not for public knowledge. You know, I mean, nothing, I'm not saying anything bad or terrible. I'm just, you know, it's fun stuff, but not everything's for everybody. But yeah, it was a really good time. We had a great time in the hotel. Ended up hanging out in the front outside of the lobby for a little bit with John Bergio and a few other people. Fun fact, also he's really cool too. And I do feel like in hindsight, John, by the chance if you happen to watch this, I do feel like, oh, okay, yeah, I definitely got to a very drunken level of it was a one-way conversation, and I apologize. I would have liked to have asked you more questions. But then at one point I was pitching my movie I'm making next year, just not pitching it, but telling him like what I'm doing. And there's this other couple that clearly mutant kind of people or drive-in people at least. And they go over and ask us like, what movie are you talking about? And we're like, why? Is it a movie that already exists? You know, am I ripping somebody off accidentally? Like, no, like it just sounds really cool and we want to see it. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, I'm sorry. It's a movie I'm making next year. It doesn't exist yet, but what fucking cool, like, marketing or market research that I'm just randomly telling a friend who, for all I know, gets involved with it. We're not that stage yet. I don't know in any way. But, and then some random other people are like, that sounds really cool. Can we see it? It's like, yay. And of course, I'm last man standing. None of them knew how to dress for that weather, hanging out like I did, which is weird. They're from New York. But I guess I think it's more of they weren't anticipating how much time they'd spend outside. So I was all bundled up and I was fine. And then, you know, John's finally going to go to bed and I'm going to go to bed. And I told him, it's like, I feel like we were roommates for like 5 years, a long time ago. And like, we should just fucking hang out and chat. So I'm so happy I got to meet him in person too. I go back to my room, drink half a bottle of red wine, listening to some of the demos of the songs I got coming up at the end of this year and just partying and having a great time. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in my bed. My clothes are off. The lights are all on. My earbuds are still in. It's 10 a.m. I wanted to get up at 8 because I think they were planning to leave at 8. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't ever remember getting in bed. I don't know. But hey, I got 6 hours of sleep. So I'm like, all right, fine. I got like half an hour. I got an hour. So it's like, okay, I'm going to go down. Breakfast. Fuck, I just missed breakfast. I'll get some coffee. I'll come poop, get on the road. I don't like public pooping. So I was very excited about hotel for a clean pooping place. But, so I go down, the coffee's out, but the breakfast's still out, so I get some nice scrambled eggs. I ate half a cold cheeseburger that I left over from the Mahoning the night before that I hadn't eaten. And I'm like, well, I guess I missed all my boys. So I was like, you know, texting like, oh, I'm sorry I missed y'all. I slept, blah, blah, blah. And this has happened every fucking time I've gone to the 2 jamborees and now this, Jamboree 2.5. I go down to the fucking lobby, and there's goddamn John Brennan. Like, I thought they were supposed to be gone 2 hours ago, but apparently he needed to sleep too. The other guys went out shopping, and they were coming back, so I still got to see everybody on my way out. 3 for 3 right now. Every time I go to one of these things, I run into all my friends in the lobby on the way out, so very, very cool. Again, if the universe is dictating that this needs to happen, it's one of those moments where that's happening, so... What a fun fucking time. And then Ernie, you know, Ernie, the lizard, the bearded dragon. I think he's a bearded dragon. Adorable. He's on Austin all the time. I got to talk to Austin more. Austin finally watched Leaf Yonkers Darkness and fucking loved it. I finally got to tell him my suggestion because I told him at the last Jamboree that I'd love to see a punk rock double feature of Green Room and then couldn't remember the second movie, which I finally remembered was Uncle Peckerhead. And when I mentioned Uncle Peckerhead, he's like, oh yeah, that's a fucking great movie. I'm like, right? Like that would be a great double feature. He's like, yeah. Anyways, I got to see Austin. Austin's really fucking cool. Everybody's really fucking cool. Found out some really cool upcoming stuff on Joe Bob. I probably shouldn't have even said that I found out anything. It was that, you know. It's nothing major. I'm just saying. I got the tiniest hint of something. But again, I feel bad. I feel like that was definitely a humble brag. Wasn't even humble. But I am the most modest person you'll ever meet. So there is that. I should get an award for my humbleness. Oh, and the parking lot was totally full. I had to go ask. They got the last spot. And I had to go ask. So I just parked out front. I was like, fuck it. I'll just park out front. And that's what they said I could do. So I was like, cool. Because even though there was half a dozen handicap spots they said I could park in. I was like, I just don't feel right about that. Even though clearly it's like 2 in the morning. No one's going to fucking take it right now. But I need a sip. I think we're almost done. Well, I got to tell you about my drive home. All right. So then I had to do the long-ass drive home, which sucked. But Wasn't bad. I only made one stop. I went like 4 hours, stopped in 4 hours. And that stop was for gas, spicy McChicken at McDonald's and some fries. I didn't even need to eat at McDonald's for a fourth time. I was going to eat at McDonald's a bunch because I did manage to get my third and final Happy Meal pail, which I'm not even sure why I want. I'm pretty sure it's all FOMO, but I did get all three. Got that on the way up, so I was like, oh, I can eat whatever I want now. Still fucking went to McDonald's. I don't even like McDonald's that much. I don't eat any fast food that much. That's fine. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I don't. But and then drove the other 4 hours home. And most of it was fine, especially I listened to a lot of Howard Stern, which is good because I don't, so I go through phases, but I was enjoying that. I loved hearing Richard Christie rave about Terrifier 2 to them. And then also I got to do something I haven't done in decades and I love, and I'm now like, I need to drive more. Definitely my lane assist, braking assist, and cruise control makes driving massively different for me, and I very much enjoy it. But I spent a lot of time cranking my favorite pop punk tunes and singing at the top of my lungs and just getting into it because that was what's keeping me awake. But what good vocal practice that is, and I forgot that, and I need to do more of that. West Virginia fucking sucks. Sorry if you're from West Virginia, and I don't mean the state as a whole. Although, take me home, country roads, loads, to the place where I belong, wet vagina. I'm mounting that mama. All right. Sorry. It was making me giggle on the way home, whatever, to stay awake. But they do not joke about the speed limit on the curves in West Virginia and in the hills. And like, you can't really speed on some of those turns. Some of those turns, you got to go under the speed limit. And it's weird. And then at one point, because the sun was in my eyes on the way back, there are times I'm going up something and I'm just fully blind for like 10 seconds as I'm taking an insane curve and hoping my braking assist kicks in case somebody stops in front of me, because I can't see them like 10 feet in front of me. So hopefully the sensors can. But anyways, I made it. Once I got off the mountains, it was fine. Got home. I got to relax. And it was worth every fucking second. And now I'm like, if I can do that drive, I can do about anything. So I'm more willing to travel. I need to go to where the opportunities are. And as much as I want to say I missed Mary and the cats, and I did. I had my moments. But I was so fucking busy, and so sleepy, I didn't have time. But now I'm like, oh, Chicago. We can do Chicago. Pittsburgh. We can do Pittsburgh. We can get to some of these places. Fuck, I'll even drive to New York if I have a shift driver. I couldn't do that on my own, I don't think. Not in a day. 2 days, sure. But anyways, that is my thing. Mary just told me she's drying her hair. So I'm going to wrap this up. And it was worth it. That was great. And again, John, Justin, everybody who encouraged me to go to that, thank you so much for encouraging me to go to that. I'm so ready. I'm also inspired by a couple other short film ideas that also might be music video ideas. And not only am I doing my pop punk stuff, I got a couple other musical ideas. Some I've been lurking with for a while. Some I'm like, I'm ready. Just need to find some time. Just need to get into November. And let's hope I don't overbook my November. The first week's a little busy. But after that, November, December, things should calm down. I got to make these 3 songs for this EP. They're going to be amazing. I've been practicing them. But also I want to do some of this other stuff. And I was pitching the movie I'm going to make for next year. I was telling the story, getting feedback, and I forgot a crucial element of the story. And then in my mind, I realized, because I didn't think that was a crucial element of the story, and I was telling a different story I hadn't quite broke yet. And now I've really redefined the story to take that moment I kept forgetting to pitch. And I'm like, now it can be a short film, like a 20, 30-minute short film. And it'll be way more interesting if I really do focus on that element that was what excited people in the first place, instead of making it more of a clone of another movie I love. And then I pitched a really fun short film to Mary. And she literally told me, maybe you shouldn't pitch all of these ideas to me, because occasionally I might want to actively convince you not to do it because it's so her cup of tea. Which I appreciate the fuck out of. It wasn't like she's like, ooh, no, don't do that. She's like, oh, this sounds, I don't know that I want to be associated with that. So maybe don't tell me you're going to make that. Just go make it. It's kind of how I took it, which is, I fucking love her. My wife. All right. I gotta go. This is a long one. Yeah, like I said, there's so much. I was going to open vinyl. We had Marvel boxes. We'll try to get to that next week. There's too much. I'll wrap this up in a minute, but we got another cocktail too. I don't know if I've already shown you or not, but I did something. I got to do it. I got to finish this one. I don't know if you've even seen me make that. I don't know how this is going to work. I didn't show anything gross, did I? No, cool. Just tissues and Snow White, because that's how real men do it. Oh, yeah. Also, I have to warn you, my super trauma senses are back, and I'm done giving a fuck about not being gross. I'm still me. I'm still happy. I'm still polite. I'm still caring of others. But I don't care if I gross you out anymore. I should have taken a picture of my nuclear shit from Halloween Horror Nights after drinking those green drinks that I swear I could have told people was fake because I was shooting a trauma film and they would have believed it. And it wasn't. There we go. Aroma de trauma. All right. Okay. Yeah, more. Hey, it's me at Hardee's. All right, cocktail number 1. This one's for Mary. I've had this. It's pretty good, but we haven't shown you. This is a pumpkin Russian, a pumpkin white Russian. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to want to do the rim. Got to get it wet. I have a mixture here. It's set out a little while because we got a bunch of uses out of it. But it's some crushed cinnamon graham crackers and some pumpkin pie spice. And so we want to wet this with water. I don't have a great way of doing that. So I literally just kind of wet the rim. And we're going to stick that in there. And then we're going to kind of just push some of this up along the sides since it's getting a little lighter than when it was originally. Give that just a second to sit. And that should be pretty good. So now we have a graham cracker pumpkin pie crusted rim. We're going to lose some of that as we work because once we start dropping stuff in, it's going to clank around. So I like about 6 ice cubes in here. I feel like that fits right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
7.
You just went to 7, girl.
Yes, that's right.
What? I just told you something in a different language?
Yeah, that's it. Help us.
Estoy tratando de aprender español.
Oh.
Even I'm impressed with that coming back that well. All right. 2 ounces of vodka. We got our Tito's here. Honestly, this is so mixed with stuff, I probably could have given her Sky. Ooh, that's a little touch more, but that's fine. This isn't rocket science.
You're giving me the good shit.
Yeah, Mary's worth the good shit. One of the drinks I'll be making later has the Sky vodka. And a very interesting other ingredient. All right, then 1 ounce of Kahlua. We do have some leftover pumpkin spice Kahlua, but we haven't found it for years, so we're holding on to that. Because you could make this.
Order online.
Yeah, I can't find anywhere that'll ship that shit to me. So we just pour that in over the ice. And then we bought, any brand's fine, but we got the pumpkin spice coffee creamer.
Coffee Mate.
No, it's a coffee creamer. So you want 1.5 ounces of this.
And the brand is Coffee Mate.
Well, yeah, this brand is Coffee Mate. I was saying any brand will do. Whatever brand you like.
If it's a Brando.
Oh, that's our wedding photographer. So look at that beautiful thing right there.
By the way, Mom's going like, when am I getting pictures?
Yeah, I need to actually ask him now that everything's calmed down.
You know, and
He has it. He has the SD card. He's just waiting for the time for him to be available, and I'm available for him to drop it off and blah blah.
Well,
Little. Let me finish here. Little pumpkin spice. Right into the drink. To your own liking. And then I like to give a couple of cocktail straws, which I really need to remember to put a box.
actually, don't worry about the cocktail straws because.
You don't want to stir it up at all?
Oh, just for stirring. Okay.
Well, I mean, you can use it for stirring or sipping. So, and there you has it. And I've had these. They're quite delicious, though I tend to stir them. So I can take this now if you want to see if that's a good one. I'm still drinking wine. I'll make. I have 2 cocktails I might make for me tonight. We'll see. 1 for sure. Hopefully the graham cracker hasn't gotten too stale. That was a face.
I should have stirred it first.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, well, usually you hand it to me already stirred. That's
a good point. That's a good point. Sorry. My bad. See, now it looks a little bit more like a mudslide.
Much better.
Yeah, I like them too. I got other things to drink myself. All right, I'm apparently gonna get real drunk tonight. Mary had her cocktail. She's taking a shower. I finished my bottle of wine. I'm gonna have a cocktail, and then I still have another one I need to make for you because it's the Halloween special. So I want to show you some fun cocktails you can make this Halloween weekend. This is another recipe. It's not mine. I found it online. It's called the Good and Evil. The Good and Evil what? Hold on.
Where's the thing? The Good and Evil cocktail, I suppose. So let me show you the ingredients. Let's tilt her down. Oh, nope. Hold on. I gotta do this right. All right. That was a mistake. Oh, come on now. Come on now, thing. All right, let's see if we can. Oh, shit. Fuck. Bear with me, everybody. Mary's. Aye. This whole stand's coming apart. All right, it's an ounce of vodka. I'm using Tito's. It's an ounce of Midori melon liqueur. It's an ounce of apple pucker. I bought that for this. And an ounce of orange liqueur. And we're gonna shake all that. We're gonna put it in a cocktail glass. And we're gonna add Sierra Mist and pineapple juice to top that off. Don't know how much. It just says to put it in there. So let's put a handful of ice in this thing. I don't know, it's like 6, 7 cubes, something like that. This is my lesser shaker, but I want to use my good shaker for the other thing. All right, so we're gonna need an ounce of vodka. Sure, doesn't matter if it's a little over. An ounce of orange liqueur. Of course, I always go Cointreau, even though you could just get a triple sec. Honestly, I'd probably use a triple sec in this. It's a little cheaper, and it's gonna mix with so many things that you won't notice. Okay, let's get our ounce of Midori. I love this stuff. I need to make another Mountain Dew Garita. It is very sticky though, so it doesn't want to open that easily. Oh, well, that's actually just a little tiny touch over an ounce, but that's fine. I think I got it sticky last time. All right, and last but not least, well, still not quite last, but not least, we're gonna open this puppy. Sour apple pucker. It's the only apple pucker I could find, so hopefully it's what it's supposed to be, but I like sour apple over apple any day, so. Whew. All right, let's get that in there. Toss this away. All right, push this stuff out the way. Grab the lid. He said shake vigorously. No, it just says shake. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Usually about 10 seconds. It's got the frost on the outside. Now, it does say put into a cocktail glass. Best I can figure, that is a martini glass. So that is what we're gonna do. Because I mean, a cocktail glass is a lot of different glasses. And this, oh, fuck you, really? Okay, there we go. This feels like it should be in a martini, so I'm gonna pour that in there. It's pretty. Of course, it doesn't leave a lot of room for the other stuff. Figure you out shortly. I don't know, we'll kind of go about half pineapple juice-ish. I've already shaken this up a little bit. We got some Dole pineapple juice. That, I don't know, that seems right. And Sierra Mist, that's about the best I could do. I mean, I guess you could substitute Sprite. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with Sierra Mist. It's supposed to be a lemon lime soda. These are the best I could find. Also, don't love that I'm pouring room temperature into the drink. In hindsight. Because it didn't say a glass with ice, right? Pour the mixture in a cocktail glass, yeah. You can also garnish with a slice of lemon, but I'm not gonna be that bourgeois right now. Mostly because it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock? Crap. Now I feel like I gotta make something else with that pineapple juice, which is fine because I have some chocolate habanero infused tequila I was working on, so maybe a pineapple margarita is in my future. Got a little fleck of something black in there, it's bugging me. Okay, let me take a picture. We'll adjust the camera and we'll taste. Should also take a picture with a background that's, I don't know, whatever. It's not the prettiest. I mean, it's not ugly. All right, shall we? It's very Herbert Westy. very melted Jolly Rancher. Kind of a light apple Jolly Rancher. Now, I don't know if that's because I'm getting the Sierra Mist and sour, or the pineapple juice on top. I don't know if I'm quite getting the booze, but it's an attractive cocktail. It looks very horror-y. Which is not to say horror-y. Let's do a sexy photo. Sexy time photo, right? All right, I got it. Couple in case it's out of focus. And check that. Ooh, almost set that down real bad. Bomb bad. Yeah, I can work with that. Sure. All right, anyways. It's okay. You definitely hit with the Sierra Mist up front. You definitely kind of get the Midori, some of the apple. I don't taste the vodka. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I don't really taste the Cointreau, the orange liqueur. I had this figured out, didn't I? And now I fucking forgot, didn't I, Mikey P? Cointreau? Okay. Would I make this again? I don't know. It's not wowing me. I've had other cocktails I really get wowed by. This is All right. We do have another cocktail, but I've also got stories. I don't know how I'm going to edit this. Hey, that Good and Evil got better. Mary liked it too. Now for the main event. Did you just see the thing that I did? You know what? No. Hopefully I remember to edit this correctly. Watch this. Okay, Eric, remember to put this differently in a different spot, or maybe it will just be here. We are gonna start on something that I would like to have done this a little bit longer, but we'll have enough time. Yeah, we just may have to film the results at the very end of the night. Oh, you won't get to have one. So, we're gonna make a thing I found in Food Network magazine, a martini. We're gonna make a candy corn martini. Yeah, that's right, I said it, I love candy corn, I'm not ashamed. So Mary picked me up some fresh Devil's Love, Devil's Seed. We're gonna basically get this infusing for now, and then we'll make the rest of the cocktail. So it takes half a cup of candy corn and 1.5 cups of vodka.
And you know I love him because I offered to buy him that shit, even though I hate it.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, we buy each other stuff we hate all the time. Okay. That's half the fun. Oh yeah, let me put down here. And by the way, well, no, I don't know, because this might be out of order, so. Oh yeah. And I'm on an empty stomach, so I ain't gonna eat any just yet. Alright, so I'm assuming this is not a scientifically precise thing. Oh, it smells good.
Smells like corn syrup.
Yeah, exactly, it smells good. Okay, we'll call that half a cup. We'll clean that up later. I'm gonna get this in the jar. This is a 16-ounce jar, right? All right. Okay. Because it says to let this infuse for at least 3 hours. So we're just gonna use the Sky vodka, since this is gonna be a very flavored drink. I'm not worried about the quality of the vodka. And in hindsight, I'm realizing I should have put a paper towel down for this. So we need 2 more of those. All right, 1 more half a cup.
No, all right.
No, careful. Oh, I think I did it. I think I did it without making a big old mess. Yes, it all stayed in the jar. Woohoo!
Now, is it really infusing as much as melting? Because, I mean, that is basically sugar.
It was mostly just supposed to give me orange vodka more than anything. So we'll give it a little bit of a shake.
We have food coloring for that.
Well, I just follow what the recipe says, girl. I'm sure it sweetens the vodka, too.
Oh, no doubt.
All right, so there's that. I gotta get back to cooking. And if I didn't forget, if this wasn't too potent a drink, you just now had your mind blown with, look at this shit, holy fuck, candy corn infused vodka.
It pretty much liquefied.
That is, yeah, we strained it, but that is 3 hours later. That is nothing but candy corn left in vodka for 3 hours. Looks kind of good to me. Ooh,
It looks like
smells
Fanta
good.
or something.
It smells like candy corn. All right, so I got this out of Food Network. This is the, they don't name it. It just says drink your candy corn. So, oh boy. All right, so follow me on this. This is a weird concoction, but I got to do it. We need 4 ounces of vodka, of the candy corn vodka. So we got to do this.
By the way, this makes 2 drinks.
Yeah, I'm going to drink both of them unless it's shite. I'm going to put some ice in here.
I'm just telling them that so they don't think that this is supposed to be a single serving.
No, you're smart. Again, 7-ish cubes. I don't know, that seems to be the magic number for me. All right, we're going to get 4 ounces in here. So this is going to get messy. Not that bad, only one little drip going down the side. That is 2 ounces. I guess what Mary's saying too is I could have just cut this in half and made 1. That's a little shy, so that should be about 4 ounces of candy corn infused vodka. Now, in all fairness, I fucking love candy corn. But on the Joe Bob special, he really solidified what I love and don't love about it. Simple, super simple version. It's good when you start, then you think you want more, and then when you're done, you're like, why did I eat all that nasty shit? Super simplified version. Mary did not like the smell. I guess you didn't taste it, right? Just the smell? Because it smells like candy corn.
It smells like gasoline.
I can't tell. That might be my farts. All right, 4 ounces of vodka, the candy corn vodka. 2 ounces of orange liqueur. We're going with the triple sec. I hope I have 2 ounces left. I should. Yeah, it should be fine. That's like my go-to orange liqueur. I probably should actually just buy some triple sec for some of these drinks. Because I'm starting to, like, you know, making those margaritas and stuff. I'm going through the Cointreau heavily. And there's a lot. It's not as cheap as... And if you're gonna mix it with 3 other ingredients, you know. All right, juice of half a lemon. How big a lemon? I don't know. That's a whole lemon. It seems to be a little more than 1/8 a cup. Just gonna eyeball it. I don't mind a little extra lemon juice. Just a dash more. There we go. Sure. Now for the weird part. So it needs pasteurized egg whites. All right. Long story short, I had to look into all of this. Pasteurized basically just means you're just tiniest bit cooking it, just enough to get rid of a bunch of extra bacteria. Make it a little bit safer to drink raw egg whites. I've had 1 or 2 drinks with like foamed egg whites. It's weird, but it's actually pretty good. Now, there's a few ways to do it. There's the expensive way of getting like a sous vide machine set up, which I wanted to do, but it's like a couple $100 for a really good one. And, you know, and it'll be perfect every time. You can set the temperature, blah, blah. There's the way where you can watch for like 4 minutes nervously straight that you don't go above or below 140 degrees, boiling your eggs at 140 because it won't cook for a few minutes and then ice bathing them. Or there's the easiest way, which we're gonna go for now, which is to buy liquid egg whites because they're gonna be pasteurized. This feels so wrong to me. But it'll get frothy and bring a creaminess when it's done. I know, it's weird. So I need how much of this? 1 pasteurized egg whites, which is 3
Is that supposed
tablespoons.
to be mixed in with everything else and not floated
Let's
on
be
the
sure.
top?
Orange liqueur, juice of the lemon, and the 1 egg, all in a shaker.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're right. Sometimes it is floated on top. Okay, I actually have to open this like juice. Oh, that seems so fucking gnarly. It's just fucking liquid egg whites in a fucking carton. Whoa. I don't know why that kind of really grosses me out.
I almost gagged slightly.
Almost looks like pineapple juice from here.
Yeah, I got some left over. I had an idea for my habanero tequila, but I'm not doing that tonight. All right, so we're putting that in there.
Did you ever strain your habanero tequila?
No, I was gonna, and then we used the strainer for something. It's gonna be very spicy. All right, shaker ice. Okay, we're gonna. It just says put it in a shaker and then strain. It doesn't say to shake. I imagine it means to shake. It's one of those one paragraph things. And you put it in 2 martini glasses with a few pieces of candy corn. Okay, so let's use my better shaker.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shaker.
Leaking a little bit, but we got a nice little frostiness happening on the outside of the container. It does look a little bit more frothy. And now, let me go get a...
Frothy OJ.
Yeah. Get a, have another chilled martini glass. Basically, when I take one out, I put one in. This has been in there for an hour, hour and a half. It does say to put a few pieces of candy corn in the bottom. It's also more just a garnishy visual thing, but we're gonna do that. It did not say to freeze the thing, but whatever. I'm all
Like
fancy.
your drink's cold.
Yeah, I'm all fancy. I don't know why I took the lid off. I still have to strain this shit. What was I thinking? And now I have to try to just strain half of it. That just occurred to me. I'm not actually pouring 2 at once.
Okay, pour 3
Nope.
ounces.
No. I know what to do. Pour 2 at fucking once, and then put 1 in the refrigerator. And if I like it, oh good, the steps are right here. Move the booze. Have this to get the jars. So much wine glasses, cocktail glasses, and that's why I was like, why did people give us more for our wedding? Nice sentiment, but goddamn, we have a glass issue. No,
I
it's
found
fine.
room for all mine.
I appreciate it. I'm just mucking about. That's an ugly candy corn. That's an ugly candy corn too, but fuck it.
That one's missing its white tip.
Hey, now we don't get all upset when somebody circumcised. Get the good stuff in here. Look at that. Look at me pouring those fairly evenly. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to go ahead and put this one in the refrigerator.
All right.
You're almost done, sweetie. I appreciate you. Also, yeah. Fuck, I still got to do all the dishes.
I have quite the same layer that the pig had. You know, pig looks like it had more solid layer foam across the top. Of course, it's food pig where it may or may not be real to begin with.
Well, yeah, you know, a food stylist. I probably didn't use enough lemon juice. And then we have the candy corn martini. So let me get a quick, not a photo of my face.
Can't really see the.
I know, like their pick is definitely better. But I made it just like it said. I can kind of see it if you get the light behind it. You can at least see a shape. Mm. All right.
Candy in the dark.
Don't make me start singing my new lyrics for...
No, do not. Do not get yourself canceled.
It wouldn't have got me canceled. It's very dirty, but there's nothing hateful in it.
There's some words people really don't like.
Yeah, but they're not hate words. Like, nobody gives a fuck. I mean, listen, if Butcher can say cunt like 5 times an episode...
Well, he's British. That's different.
That's the word she's referring to, by the way. I just want to make sure you know I don't use any kind of... like. I have no interest in language that hurts people. All right, I'm sorry. All right.
And he never uses that word in a good way either.
Well, that's true. I was using it in a good way. So now I feel like I have to sing it.
No, don't.
Let's see how. Oh my God, Mary. Okay, I'm either gonna sing it because you will not taste this, or if you taste it, I will not sing it.
Fine, I'll taste it.
Oh, well, okay. You know what? I love you. I'm not gonna make you taste it. I'm just shocked how easy you made that decision.
No, I was just gonna try it anyways.
Oh, well, in that case, wet vagina, a mountain mama.
You know, I can't turn this off.
Why would you, though? This is the gold. All right, I'll do this. Here we go. I love candy corn, though.
We are going on a roller coaster of a...
There is a flow of flavor there. The grimace was actually when the Cointreau hit. Like, I had that brief moment of orange liqueur, like straight for a second. The egg white actually brings a little bit of frothy creaminess. And then it's kind of very sweet orange. Not quite orange soda. Yeah, you know what's weird is it's not the candy corn anything in there, or the egg anything in there, or the lemon anything in there. It really is the orange liqueur that, when I'm having a problem with it, it's that. But everything around that, I kind of like. Oh yeah, and then I have that like orange juicy aftertaste. I don't know if that's because it's the way it's...
Well, that might be the lemon. Is that citrus factor.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not sure what I think. But it's not what I would have expected. I think the candy corn kind of just became a simple syrup mixed with vodka. So I don't think it's really that big a deal. But right, it's kind of the orange stuff.
At the very front of it is okay.
Yeah, it's kind of creamy.
But the back end has the same aftertaste I get with OJ that I don't like.
But that's exactly what I said. So I mean,
yeah,
we're weirdly on the same page. So I think you're right. I think it's the way it's all interacting with the lemon. Is my lemon juice rancid? Are those lemons old? They didn't smell or seem bad.
I don't smell anything out of the ordinary.
It smells like lemon.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah. Now I don't hate this, and I do wonder if it's just like the last drink going to get better the more it sits for a minute, and then I drink it. But yeah, that's weird that it's the orange liqueur that really comes out in an orange juicy, like an extreme. Like I like orange juice, but I know what you mean about that aftertaste of it.
Yeah.
And it's like an extreme alcoholic version of that. But you're right, up front, like the rest of it it's kind of creamy and smooth and actually pretty good. It's like a sweet vodka cocktail.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Not sure how I feel on that. Anyways, I'll tell you more in the wrap up. She's got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Good night, Mary. Say good night, Mary.
Good night, Mary.
I was about to be like, here, kiss me, but like, no, that's only I get to do that. All right, I'll be back. Hey, it is 1:32 a.m. Mary went to bed a little bit ago. I've done the next load of dishes. Got the whole fryer in there. Still need to take out trash. Got my towels cleaning in the laundry. Whew. This drink is getting better as I drink more of it. Still not my favorite. I need to develop one that'll be my favorite because I think the candy corn vodka has something to it. Plus, I did use a cheaper vodka, so I don't think that would make it that much of a difference here, but maybe. And of course, there was something I was going to tell you, and now I don't remember. But we made a lot of cocktails. We gave you some of our story, mostly just this last week. I did still want to, and still hope to, run you through some of the story of our wedding and honeymoon, the good stuff. Or maybe that's its own video. I don't know. Get back to cooking. I don't want to do. I just want to go make my movies and my music. It's fine. No, I do still like doing this. And I'm going to keep doing it. Because I like talking to y'all. I like knowing y'all. It's weird doing it from my end, like as a YouTuber or whatever. I've gone through phases, I've changed my content here and there. Made friends that have been with me for a long time. Made friends that were there for a while and then left. And, some people are still around. I still miss some people. Some old, some new. But I still like doing this. At the same time, I'm not going to make my music and my movies. But I like having the excuse to fuck around with food and drink. Because that cookbook's coming next year. I don't know. I'm pretty drunk. I should wrap this up. I'm just shitting around until I can remember what it was I was going to tell you. I have my fan on because the heat was on up here and it's a little too much heat. So I have my little hand fan on. Nostalgia Critic dropped his version of The Mist. I hope he liked it. It's one of my favorite movies. There's a lot of movies I saw I didn't get to tell you about. A lot of older stuff I went and saw in the theater. I really put Regal Unlimited to its paces in October. Way more than my 18, 19, 24, because I subscribed for the bigger thing. I didn't need to. Month. I got way more than my money's worth in October. Like, way more. Am I gonna remember? I'm not. I bought Spirits Unleashed Ghostbusters, haven't got to play it. I bought Mario Rabbids Gold Edition, haven't got to play it. I've been so busy, but I want to play these games, but I still want to enjoy Halloween, but I'm also ready to go into Christmas season a little bit. I'm still very Halloween, but you hear my ring on. Is it in my pocket, or did I set it? Oh, there it is. I was doing dishes and stuff, so. Whatever. It's a great week. It's a great month. This has been an amazing October. I guess I've still got my Halloween tree. I never even showed you my Halloween tree, and I still have the decorations put on it, and we got to decorate out front. You know, next week you might still see some Halloween stuff. There's just no way for us to put it in this video. But thank you, everybody. I got to go. So comment below. Let me know. What do you think? What are you doing? Did you do Scarefest? What's your favorite convention in your place? What's your favorite Lloyd Kaufman film? What did you, no spoiler for other people in the comments, think of any of the movies I talked about? And you don't have to yell at me about Halloween Ends. I have my opinion, you have yours. I've told you to think what you think, enjoy. I'm not trying to change your mind. I was just telling, because I know some people want to know what I think. I'm not trying to be like, hey, you should think like me. That'd be boring. But yeah, comment on all that stuff. Click the thumbs up button. Give me the good old thumb of encouragement, as I do love to be encouraged. And remember that we will get through this. We will get through this together. Also, random note, if you're still here, we really wanted a drunken movie night this month. I don't think it's happening. We kept looking for dates. We kept trying to make it happen, and we just don't have the time. We almost even gave up our 8-year dating anniversary. And who knows? Maybe we'll, I don't know. Don't hold me to it. I don't promise anything. But yeah, I'm so sorry. But again, I have other things I want to focus on right now, and you've always been supportive of that. So we'll figure out some version of a stream, and still some drunken movie night, and still Oscars for sure. But we'll get it going. All right, check out my music anywhere you listen to music. 90s style pop punk, new stuff coming before the end of the year. That's really good. Look up TheEricButts on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. Also making a movie next year. It's getting more and more exciting. Check out my out-of-date website, TheEricButts.com, to find more out about my previous filmmaking. Some of it. A lot more content, ways to support the channel with links in the description below. Just click that see more button to see more butts. And now it's 1:37 a.m. I got to process this clip. I got to edit this entire vlog, render it, export it, and upload it. I'll deal with the time coding and text work tomorrow. We're going to go see Puddle's Pity Party and Piff the Magic Dragon. So, sweet. All right. Love y'all. I'm out of here. Bye.